winds of change came off Lake Michigan into Art Keller Field during the football offseason at Carthage College, and with them came a new head coach for the Firebirds in Matt Pepino. However, as lake winds often do, they put a bit of a chill on the start of the year. Carthage has not only started 0-3 under Pepino, but has yet to score a point through those first 3 games. You can forgive the slow start, though, when you consider 2 of the Firebirds' first 3 opponents are in the top 15 in the national D3 rankings, including the top-ranked North Central Cardinals, a consistent threat to reach and win the Stag Bowl. Today, however, the Firebirds take on an Elmhurst University team they have beaten the last 8 times these teams have met. The Blue Jays are coming off their first win of the season against North Park, but it came by a mere 7 points against a team that's consistently been near the bottom of the CCIW standings. Goal number 1 for Pepino and his Firebirds team on homecoming and family weekend here at Carthage is just to hold on to the ball and get onto the scoreboard. But the ultimate priority for the Firebirds is to bring a victory off the lake and into port for the first time in Pepino's turn at the Firebirds' helm. It's the Blue Jays, it's the Firebirds, and the excitement of homecoming football along the shores of a great lake on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon. From Art Keller Field on the campus of Carthage College in Kenosha, Wisconsin, on homecoming and family weekend, it's time for Firebirds football. Good afternoon, everyone. Dan Pfeifer along with you on this picture-perfect October afternoon, as today the 0-3 Carthage Firebirds play host to the 1-2 Elmhurst University Blue Jays in what's expected to be a big homecoming crowd on this beautiful, if breezy, sunny afternoon in Kenosha County. I will be flying solo today. This is my first opportunity to call Firebirds football. I am thankful to everyone involved with the program for having me today. I come to you after being the voice of the historic University of Chicago Maroons program the last couple of years, as well as a longtime high school football play-by-play voice in the Milwaukee area and the host of Football Friday Night, a high school football recap show that airs on 12 stations around the state of Wisconsin every Friday night in the fall from 9:30 to 11 p.m. Today, though, we're not talking about Amos Alonzo's Stag and the Chicago Maroons, nor are we discussing anything that has to do with the WIAA. It's the Carthage Firebirds looking for their first win and first points of the season, taking on these Elmhurst Blue Jays. We mentioned Carthage is off to a slow start, but 2 of those 3 losses have come against ranked opponents. Carthage opened up with the then number 14 St. John's Johnnies out of Minnesota. Carthage fell at Clemens Stadium, a place that they call the Natural Bowl because it's built into the side of a beautiful hillside there. 49-0 was your final score in that contest. They opened CCIW play, did the Firebirds, with a 63-0 loss to that very good North Central team. Then last week, the Firebirds were on the road at Illinois Wesleyan and improved despite falling to the Titans 35-0. Offensively, one of the keys for the Firebirds will simply be holding on to the football. Senior quarterback Bryce Lowe has completed nearly 58% of his passes on the season thus far, but he's also got a number of interceptions that he's thrown this season. He's got 7 total on the year. You're seeing the stats from last week when Carthage took on Illinois Wesleyan. 2 interceptions last week for Lowe, as he's just trying to find guys wearing the right colored jerseys early on, adjusting to this new offensive scheme under Pepino. On the other side of the ball, it's not like Elmhurst has done a lot offensively this year either, but look for junior quarterback John Odom to run an option look offense where he'll be willing to take off with the football or utilize running back Tavion Porter, the Blue Jays' top rusher on the year thus far. Porter has 23 carries for 122 yards. Also, special teams may play into this one. Porter, he's yet to score from scrimmage yet this year, but he does have 1 score, and it came on a 97-yard kick return. He can be dangerous when he gets the ball on kickoff. Speaking of kicking, we mentioned that the weather today is ideal in terms of what you see on whatever screen you may be watching this on, maybe your smart television, computer screen, mobile device, whatever it is you choose to use to see Carthage football on our YouTube channel. There isn't going to be any precipitation today, at least that we're aware of, but there is a strong wind blowing directly from one set of goalposts on your left to the other set on the right. Temperature today, 68 degrees as the Firebirds run out onto the field here on homecoming Saturday. Partly cloudy sky, 65% humidity, but that wind blowing out of the south-southeast is consistently up around 18 miles per hour. The Firebirds running out of the tunnel set up by the Spirit Squad and into that wind. You're going to be able to tell today the kicks going from our left to our right will be much easier than those headed in the other direction. Still, given the weather you could have on early October day here in Wisconsin, my compliments to whoever did the fundraising to pay off the weather gods for giving us a day where you don't need anything more than a light jacket on this day. We are going to take pause for the national anthem, and when we come back, it'll be kickoff time in Kenosha, Elmhurst and Carthage. This is Firebirds football. The Carthage Pep Band out in full force on homecoming weekend. Also mentioned that it's family weekend too. Parking here today, bit of an adventure. I can actually see my car from up here in the press box because the only available parking at 11 a.m. this morning was across the street. If you are planning on coming out here to Carthage, be ready to walk a little bit to get to Art Keller Field. You'll see in the background shots too that there is a lot of tailgating going on today. It is a festive atmosphere despite the slow start to the season for the Firebirds, and we are looking forward to some good football today. Captains will be coming out shortly for the coin toss. As you can see, the captains for the Firebirds, including quarterback Bryce Lowe, out there for Matt Pepino as the head coach for the Firebirds. Joined by Gavin Betts, wide receiver. Cristobal Gutierrez, talented defensive lineman for the Firebirds. And Peter Orlandino, tight end for the Firebirds as well. Coin is tossed. Get the decision in just a moment.
Elmhurst has won the toss and deferred their choice to the second half. Carthage will receive. Good luck.
So the Firebirds will get the football first to start this homecoming contest between these two teams. And as mentioned, it has been a bit of a struggle on offense for the Firebirds. We talked about Bryce Lowe and the fact he has 7 interceptions on the year thus far. Do not be surprised if the Firebirds rely a lot on Bryce Frank today, running back out of Marshall, Wisconsin. 30 carries on the year thus far for 117 yards. Like the entirety of the Firebirds team, yet to find the end zone. But Frank, a back who is coming back after being a starter last year, and Frank actually had a pretty good game last time these two teams met. Frank had 69 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns as Carthage defeated Elmhurst last year, 27-20, when these two teams met also on homecoming here at Art Keller Field. All-time record for Carthage against Elmhurst, 43-27-1. The only team that Carthage has more wins against all-time is that North Park team that Elmhurst beat last week. Carthage's all-time record against North Park, 52-10-1. The first meeting between these two teams way back on October 17th, 1936. It was a 7-7 tie at Elmhurst. Carthage went 2-5-1 that year. Just about time for kickoff here at Carthage College. The Elmhurst bench, as well as some of the Elmhurst special teamers bouncing around. Marco Davila will be the man to kick it off for the Blue Jays. On average, he has sent the ball to about the 19-yard line. Not necessarily a strong leg for Davila, as he will send it away, but he will have the wind at his back. Davila signals to his up men. Swinging the right leg, and we are underway here at Art Keller Field at homecoming weekend. Kickoff return is fumbled momentarily, but then brought forward. That is Carter Ferguson with that return, or correction, Isaac Saunders with that return for the Firebirds. We'll get it out to the 21-yard line, and that will be where the Firebirds offense will start the afternoon. Quick look at the starting lineup for the Firebirds. We mentioned Lowe at quarterback, Frank at running back. Wide receivers include Gavin Betts, Argent Ishmaeli, and Jackson Westmoreland. Peter Orlandino is your tight end. Offensive line of Jordan Petty, Cameron Goodson, A.J. Lattimore, Matt Johnson, and Lucas Kuzmiers. First and 10 for the Firebirds from their own 21-yard line. Spotted on the near side of the field, Low under center. 2 wide receivers to his right. He's going to hand this one off. That'll be a nice run for Bryce to get things started, as he'll pick up at least 5, maybe 6 towards the near sideline. They'll say he's down after a gain of 5 on the season thus far. Frank averaging 3.9 yards per carry, as you do see the offensive starting lineup for the Firebirds there. They come up to the line of scrimmage as we get set for a 2nd and 5. The Firebirds working quickly to start this contest. Play action fake, rolling out to his right. Low, pump fakes, fires. That's going to be beyond the arms of tight end Orlandino, and in fact, it will be the 8th interception thrown by Bryce Lowe this year. Well, we talked about it in the open, how Lowe has struggled to find friendly hands on the season. And on the second play from scrimmage, Lowe throws his 8th pick of the season, and the Blue Jays get the ball with outstanding field position. A ball hawking play for the Blue Jays, as it was Chris Reeves getting his first interception of the season. And just like that, the Blue Jays take the football on the Carthage 29, 1st and 10, early on in this contest. Well, not the start that Lowe wanted to get out to in this one, as the memories of the first 3 weeks of the season come back in a haunting way. On first down, Odom going deep, incomplete. Looking to the far side of the field, and his favorite target, Jacob Cockrell. But it was just beyond his arms along the far sideline, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays starting offense. We mentioned Odom at quarterback. He is a junior out of Wheaton, Illinois. Darius Lane, the running back. R.J. Anderson at tight end. Cockrell, McCarville, and Holtke at wide receiver positions. Mustafa Dan Muddam, Javon Manuel, Keaton Cornell, Javen Young, and Nicholas Kozlowski on the offensive line for the Blue Jays. 2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays. Pistol formation. This will be a handoff to Darius Lane at the feature back position. But Lane will be taken down without picking up much yardage. Quick to the football for the Firebirds, John Pettit. He leads the Firebirds in tackles entering this contest with 19 on the year. And let's see the starting defense for the Firebirds, including King, Hughes, Snead, and Gutierrez along the line. Ramon Campos, Pettit, and Stanton among those in the line, and Tanner Ludwig, we should say, in the linebacker core. Stanton, Brayu, Alexander, and Barnes among the defensive backs. No gain on the previous play. 3rd and 10 for the Blue Jays after they get an interception on the second play from scrimmage for the Firebirds in this contest. Just a minute and a half gone in this one. Spotted on the far hash mark at the 29-yard line. Screen pass, that is complete. Jacob Cockrell over the middle, trying to get to the sticks on the far side. He is ushered out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Looks like he'll be a yard short of the line to gain. Decision time for the Blue Jays early in this contest. We talked about Davila on the kickoff and the fact that he has an okay leg, but maybe not a terribly strong one. He's only attempted 1 field goal on the year, and it was blocked. 7 for 7 on extra points has been Davila, but at the college level, those come from much closer. 4th and 1 for the Blue Jays, and they will come out to the line of scrimmage. They will go for it. Everybody up to the line of scrimmage. This looks like it might be the tush push. It is. John Odom just plows his way forward. Everyone pointing in directions. Looked like there was enough yardage there. It'll all depend upon where they spot the football, but the far side referee is saying move those chains. They do give 2 yards to Odom on the quarterback sneak through the middle, something you're seeing more and more in modern football since they have removed the rules about pushing a player from behind and assisting him. It is a first down for the Blue Jays in the red zone for the Firebirds at the 18. Spotted on the far side hash mark, backs off of both shoulders of John Odom, the Blue Jays quarterback. Odom takes the snap, he'll hand it off. That's Lane again, trying to cut back, but he is wrestled down quickly. Ethan Ivan with the tackle, as there was nothing there. They'll spot him back at the 18, and he's lucky to get that. 2nd and 10 for Elmhurst, as it has been feast or famine thus far for the Blue Jays, with good field position to start this contest. Again, Carthage got the football first. Only had it for 2 plays. The interception thrown by Bryce Lowe, his 8th of the year. 2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays. Again, 2 backs, shotgun formation for Odom. Fakes the handoff, pass near side, complete. That goes to Caleb Garner. At least we believe that's Caleb Garner. Looks like a number 6 there. Nope, that's a number 8. Bit of a surprise there to see those numbers. Let's check on that one for Elmhurst. Yeah, it looks like Caleb Garner. He's listed as a quarterback on the roster. Doesn't have a catch on the season unless there was a change in numbers before the game. Garner makes that grab and picks up 4 on the play to the 14-yard line. Bit of a surprise to see him out there right now. Nonetheless, the Blue Jays come out in the pistol formation on 3rd and 6. They need to get to the 8-yard line to get a first down. From the 14, Odom takes a snap, fires it to the far side. It is complete. That is Max McCarville, 6 foot, 185-pound senior, very familiar with this area. He went to Kenosha St. Joe's. But the former Lancer cannot get the first down. He is brought down at the 10. It'll be 4th and 2 for the Blue Jays, and now we do see the field goal unit come out. Marco Davila will try and hit his first field goal of the season. Worth noting, it will come out of the hole of Odom. This will be a 27-yard attempt from the far side hash mark with the wind at Davila's back. Firebirds bench bounces up and down. Davila's kick on the way to the uprights, and it is through and good. From 27 out, Davila puts the Blue Jays on the board as they are seeking to get their second straight CCIW victory. They have the lead to start things out on the road against the Firebirds, 3-0 with 10:07 remaining in the first quarter. This is Firebirds football. Back with you from Art Keller Field in Kenosha. In the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you can see the flags stiff in this strong breeze out of the south-southeast. Mentioned getting up around 20 miles per hour today. Hey, credit to Britton Stanton for the third down tackle being in the right place at the right time to take down Max McCarville and hold the Blue Jays 2-3. But it is the Blue Jays on the board first in this contest as the strong wind that we have blows the ball off the tee for Marco Davila. Elmhurst kicker out of Key West, Florida. Mixing my words up here. For Carthage, it's small victories right now that you're looking for as the ball falls off the tee again. The Blue Jays will send over Mason Leach to hold the football for Davila. And with the offense just kind of trying to find a rhythm right now, you can get those little victories on defense. Holding the Blue Jays to 3, it can make a difference. You can see the wind helping that football as Davila, who we mentioned doesn't necessarily have the strongest leg, gets a lot into that one. It almost goes through the back of the end zone. Touchback. Firebirds will get the ball at the 25. So we'll see Bryce Lowe come back out there after throwing, again, his 8th interception of the season thus far. And it's just some of the decision making. We mentioned it takes a little while to get used to a new offensive scheme. As you see the defense out there for Elmhurst, the starting lineup for them. But, between Coach Pepino, Jeff Duvendek, offensive and travel coordinator as well for the Firebirds, trying to get Lowe to make the right decisions here. But it's a little bit tough sometimes early on to get a feel for it. Well, one way to get things back in order is just to hand the football off. That is Bryce Frank. Hey, diddle right through the middle. He'll pick up 3 on that carry. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Firebirds after Frank's second carry of the game. Early on, Frank with 8 yards on 2 carries, about in line with his average thus far on the season of 3.9 yards per tote. 2nd and 7 for the Firebirds from their own 28-yard line, spotted on the near side hash mark. Receivers split in both directions for the Firebirds. Lowe maybe changing the play at the line of scrimmage, pointing out the linebackers. From the gun, he'll take the snap, hand off again. Frank again. This time he comes to the near side, has some room, gets across the 35, taken down just before the 40-yard line. First down, Carthage Firebirds on their best offensive play of the day thus far. An 11-yard pickup for Bryce Frank. You see this more and more in the NFL now. The more you can use different gaps and keep the defense on their heels, the more options you have as an offense. That time, Frank busts it to the outside, and it works for 11. 1st and 10 for the Firebirds, their first down of the day. Lowe, hand off Frank again. He's got room on the right side, across the 45, towards midfield. He'll be taken down, close to another Firebirds first down. Looked like he had it from the fall forward, and indeed they do spot the football on the nose of the Firebird logo there and tell the chains to move. Pickup of 10 for Frank. First down, Carthage. Great job by the offensive line, just sealing off that right side. Frank took advantage. 1st and 10 for the Firebirds. 3 receivers split out wide to the right. Empty backfield now as Frank heads in motion to the left. Lowe all alone. Long snap count, takes a snap a little bit to his left, fires over the middle. He's got a wide open Gavin Betts. Betts across the 30-yard line, down to the 27. A pickup of 24. First down, Carthage Firebirds. This might be the most we've seen the Firebirds offense rolling thus far this season. Trying to get their first points of the year, in addition to their first lead. 1st and 10 for the Firebirds from the Elmhurst 27. Lowe at the line of scrimmage. Pointing out the middle linebackers and the Elmhurst defense. Now he comes set. I formation behind him. Hand off Frank. Through a gap. Across the 20. Still on his feet. Across the 15. Taken down near the 13-yard line. That'll be another Carthage first down. Just like that, the Carthage offense is rolling and now finds itself in the Elmhurst red zone. They'll say he went down at the 15-yard line, still a pickup of 12. Not big moves from Frank, but just enough moves to get the job done. Firebirds rush up to the line of scrimmage from the huddle. Again, I formation. Frank. Again over center, not much there for him this time. Taken down by Malachi Correa, sophomore for the Blue Jays out of Canton, Illinois. Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7 upcoming for Carthage. They need to get to the 5 for the first down, but you know they are thinking about finding their way into the end zone for the first time in the 2024 season. Lowe has looked good on this drive after the interception on the first drive of the day for the Firebirds. On 2nd and 7. Handoff, Frank tries that left side again. This time, though, it's closed off. Good pursuit by the Blue Jays defense. That is Aitor Agbenya on the tackle. Solid presence on the defensive line for the Blue Jays. 5'10", 235-pound junior out of Glenview, Illinois. Loss of 1 on that play. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Firebirds. Spotted on the near side at the 13. One receiver split wide to the left, another in the slot on the right. Frank will take position off the right shoulder of quarterback Bryce Lowe. Lowe fakes the handoff, pass, right side, Colin Durian. Durian towards the sideline. He'll get taken down a yard short of the line to gain at the 6. And it'll be 4th and 1 for the Firebirds. Let's see what they choose to do here. Gut check time for Matt Pepino. They come up to the line of scrimmage quickly. They're going to go for it on 4th and 1, or at least look to go for it. Lowe under center. Now he pops up, takes a look at the Blue Jays defense. Looks back to the sideline now. Let's see if he gets a new play. Maybe some trickeration even here for the Firebirds. We've seen situations like this where the center will then choose to snap the football to Frank or whoever the feature back may be. 4 on the play clock for the Firebirds. They got to think about getting this one off if they are going to run it. This will be a handoff. Frank, ball comes loose. It's going to be recovered by the Blue Jays. Jace Zafiro put helmet to football. It came free, and the Blue Jays came away with it on 4th and 1. The Firebirds looking for their first points of the season. Instead, turn it over for the 2nd time today. You see it on replay, and that ball just squirted out. And right there to recover it was Justin Harris, his first fumble recovery of the season. Oh, and that breaks your heart if you're a Firebird fan. So close to finally cracking the scoreboard for the first time in 4 games. Instead, the Blue Jays get the football at their own 6. 1st and 10. 4:41 left in this first quarter, and if it hasn't been for bad luck in this season for Carthage, they haven't had any luck at all. Run play on first down for the Blue Jays. Just a mass of bodies in the middle. Not much there for Tavion Porter. They'll get to the 10-yard line. That's a gain of 4. We'll officially call it the 11 even. So gain of 5, fell forward nicely, but it will be 2nd and 5 for the Blue Jays after the fumble recovery and with this 3-0 lead. Odom from the gun. He's got Porter off his left shoulder. Shift along the defensive line for the Firebirds on 2nd and 5. This will be another handoff to Porter. We saw a little more of Lane on the first drive of the game. Now we're seeing more of Porter. Talked about him in the open. Lane came in with 89 yards on the season thus far. Porter with 122. We'll see both of them in healthy doses today. Loss of 1 on that play, though, for Porter. And this will be 3rd and 6 for the Blue Jays with the ball spotted at the 10. Well, for all the struggles the Firebirds offense has had, if the defense can get another victory here and hold the Blue Jays to a 3-and-out, the Firebirds will get the football back with good field position, even after a punt for the Blue Jays with the wind at their back. But they got to hold them here on 3rd down. It is 3rd and 6. This is another handoff to Porter. Porter will not get there. Initial contact made by Jalik Barnes, 5'9", 165-pound junior defensive back for the Firebirds out of Ocala, Florida. Pickup of 4 on the play, but they needed to get 6. 4th and 2. Blue Jays will send the punting unit out. Nick Mullett comes out to punt for the Blue Jays on the season thus far. Only 1 punt. He has dealt with some injury issues. They have used a lot of Giovanni Orstano. But Mullett, with his 1 punt, did send it 42 yards down the field. Orstano averaging 30 yards per kick. This kick is blocked! Blocked, and it'll go out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Coming right through the line, Mark Hunter. And Hunter bags one for the Firebirds. 1st and goal. We said special teams would make a difference today. And that's the biggest play of the year thus far for Carthage. We'll take a look momentarily on the instant replay, if we get the opportunity. Huge play on special teams for the Firebirds. Might have to wait to the break to see that one again, but all of a sudden, Carthage gets the ball back within striking distance. They'll spot it at the 9. 1st and goal for the Firebirds. Low at the line of scrimmage. Looks like Mark Hunter is the feature back right now. Hunter does get the carry. He'll take it up towards the 5-yard line. Let's see if they spot him there with forward progress. Hunter, a junior out of Lake Villa, Illinois. Here we do see the replay. Snap was a little low, but there was plenty of time to get that punt off. That was just good rush from the edges for the Firebirds. And it set them up nicely here. Gain of 4 on the previous play for Hunter. 2nd and goal for the Firebirds from the Blue Jays 5. Carthage scoreless through 3 games thus far this year. We're knocking at the door on the last drive, but the fumble. Low, rolling out to his left. Good decision there by Low. He saw the receiver, Colin Durian, his tight end out of Metawan, Michigan, well covered. So he said, you know what? I'm not going to risk throwing another pick here in the red zone. I'm just going to throw the ball at his feet. It's not going to be intentional grounding. It's just going to be an incompletion. Let's try again on 3rd down. Low, a senior. Steinbrenner High School. Threw for 2 touchdowns against the Blue Jays last year. He'll try and throw for 1 here on 3rd down with an empty backfield, barring any scramble or perhaps a jet sweep. They fake it. Low, looking, middle of the field, fires, end zone, touchdown, Carthage Firebirds! Harry Wilson Jr., his 5th catch of the year, and the Firebirds get their first points of 2024 and their first lead at 6-3. For the first time this year, the Firebirds strike Painter. And they get their first lead of the contest. Point after pending. Swinging gate, extra point formation. This is going to be a direct snap. Pass into the end zone, incomplete. Making the pass for the Firebirds was Garrett Townsend, listed as a wide receiver out of Indianapolis for the Firebirds. but the ball falls to the ground, so the two-point conversion out of the swinging gate point-after formation, a little trickeration from the Firebirds, is no good. However, the Firebirds do get on the board, and there you see the reason why, the blocked punts that set the Firebirds up in the Blue Jays red zone. And now the Firebirds have their first lead of the year with 1:36 remaining in the first. This is Firebirds football. It wasn't a long drive. It didn't have to be a long drive. 3 plays, 9 yards, but the Firebirds find the end zone for the first time in 2024. The two-point conversion attempt is no good, but the Firebirds currently doubling up the Elmhurst Blue Jays with their first lead of the season. 1:36 remaining in the first quarter, and the Firebirds up 6-3. Jack Anderson hasn't had to kick off much this year because the Firebirds have not scored many points. Haven't scored any points, in fact, up to this point, and more trickeration on special teams from the Firebirds as they try and fake out the Blue Jays with a crowded onside kick fake. Now they go into a more traditional formation. Anderson has only kicked off 3 times, each at the start of a half. One of those kicks went out of bounds. Otherwise, he sends it to about the 13-yard line on average. Flag goes down. This is going to be a delay of game penalty against the Firebirds, as maybe a little bit too much when it comes to trying to do things tricky on special teams.
Kicking team, 5-yard penalty, free kick.
And there is the call. So we'll move the ball back to the 30-yard line, and this will be a bit more challenging of an attempt for Anderson, not to mention he is kicking into that stiff wind that is blowing here today at Art Keller Field. But hey, good to hear this loud and large homecoming crowd get into it after the Firebirds get on the board for the first time in 4 contests. Took a while. Not going to say it was necessarily worth the wait, if you will. You'd like to at least get on the board in one of those first 3 games, but if you can get a victory today, the crowd that is here at least this afternoon will accept that. Anderson checks his wings, sends it down with the right foot. This will be fielded at the 11-yard line. Pretty good kick into the wind. It is taken by Tavion Porter, that running back for the Blue Jays. We mentioned he does have a kick return for a touchdown on the year. That one cut back towards the near sideline, a dangerous cut, but the Firebirds able to knock him down. Good work by Ramon Campos to make sure that cut does not make the Firebirds pay the ultimate price. But it'll be good field position for the Blue Jays as they start this next drive on their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10, finding themselves down by 3. Good game for the Blue Jays last week as they defeated North Park at home 28-21 for their first win of the season. Today, if they're going to get the victory, it'll come in a game that's had a lead change already. I mentioned Porter, he gets the ball. Direction, that is Darius Lane taking the ball after the kick returned by Porter. However, Lane, not much there for him. He'll get up to the 39, but nothing more. Call it a gain of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Blue Jays. Mike Murray, the head coach of the Elmhurst Blue Jays. He's in his 2nd year at the helm. Career record of 3-10. See the replay on the first down run. Quickly around the end, Cohen Abreu. Defensive back coming around the edge. 180-pound junior out of Miliani, Hawaii. Pass to the near side on 2nd down, incomplete. A little bit too far for Jacob Cockrell. Coming on the crossing route. It'll be a 3rd down and 9 for the Blue Jays, as Odom is off target on 2nd down. Early on in this contest, Odom 3 of 4 throwing the football for 17 yards. Porter, 3 carries for 8 yards. Lane, 3 carries for just 1 yard in the contest. 3rd and 9 as the Firebird crowd here on homecoming and family weekend gets into it at Art Keller Field. Odom in the gun, takes the snap, looks downfield, pocket breaks down. He's going to have to roll out to his left, being chased by Gutierrez towards the sideline. Pass. Let's see if he's inbounds, waiting for a signal. Looks like he was, and they will say that he got the first down. Great work on the run by John Odom as he sends it over to the far side of the field and is able to do what's needed to get the first down for the Blue Jays. First and 10 for the Blue Jays from the 49. Odom again from the gun. After the 3rd down conversion, we get whistles before the snap. That is the end of the first quarter. Seth Desmore with the 10-yard catch. Staying in bounds, keep the drive alive for the Blue Jays. And the two teams won't have to move far as they switch ends of the field. And we get set to get the second quarter underway. After one, though, Carthage not only with their first points of the season, but their first lead of the season. It's 6-3, Firebirds over Blue Jays after one. This is Firebirds football. Quick look at some stats before we get the second quarter underway. Carthage doubling up Elmhurst in first downs, 4-2. Through the air, Carthage has 83 yards thus far. Elmhurst just 38. On the ground, Carthage with 47 yards, Elmhurst with 11. Elmhurst with the football, though, down 6-3 as we get the second quarter underway. That is Lane with the carry, but Darius Lane does not find a running lane. In fact, he gets no further than midfield before he is sent back from whence he came. It'll be a 1-yard pickup for the Blue Jays. As once again, Cristobal Gutierrez Jr. came in with 16 tackles on the season. And he continues to be a dominant force along that line for the Firebirds. As it is now second and, we'll call it a long 8 for Elmhurst, just about at midfield. Right at the face-off dot for Firebirds lacrosse. Odom, play action fake, looking deep down the middle of the field, overthrows Jacob Cockrell, incomplete. Cockrell had a step on the Firebirds defense, but into the wind. It's a little tough sometimes to judge just how hard you have to throw that football, especially at this level, and Odom put just a little too much air under it. It'll be third and, again, a long 8 for Elmhurst with the ball spotted at midfield. Elmhurst, 15 plays thus far, just 39 yards. However, the couple turnovers for the Firebirds in the first quarter did give them the opportunity to get on the board first with a 27-yard field goal. 3rd and 8 for the Blue Jays. Play action fake, rolling to his right. Odom looks across the field. Incomplete. Outstanding pass defense for the Firebirds. Jalik Barnes right in the right place at the right time. Even hesitated with Max McCarville in front of him. Stuck the arm out just in the right time. Got the incompletion. 4th down. Blue Jays will have to punt it away. Perfect technique by Jalik Barnes. You can't come too early. It ends up being pass interference. You don't want to be in front of the receiver. He can make that turn downfield, and it can turn into a big game. Outstanding work by Jalik Barnes. This time the punt is away. It's not a terribly good punt. It bounces at the 25. Struggle to pick it up. Landon Ross got turned around as that ball rolled on him towards the center of the field. But it looks like Ross was able to reel it in. Not sure if Ross necessarily should have even made a play on that ball after it Bounced at the 25. They'll spot it at the 19. It'll be a 31-yard punt. 6 yards of it on the ground. The Firebirds will get it back with a 6-3 lead, looking to expand upon their early advantage. First time this year that the Firebird offense has taken the field with a lead. Let's see if that means that they go to Bryce Frank, their talented junior running back, a little bit more. Frank not out there right now, though. It's Mark Hunter, who is the back dotting the I for the Firebirds. Bryce Lowe under center. Mentioned a fullback in front of Frank. It will be Frank with the carry. Frank with good speed. Gets across the 15. We said that ball was spotted at the 19. It was actually at the 14. My apologies. That made it a 36-yard punt. Gained by Hunter on the play of 3 yards out to the 17-yard line. That'll make it 2nd and 7 for the Firebirds. Second quarter, good to have you along on the Carthage Athletics YouTube channel. Dan Pfeifer on the call with you today, flying solo. Rest of the crew probably enjoying some homecoming parties. Don't blame them. Another handoff. Hunter through the middle, still on his feet, taking Blue Jays with him as if he's in the AL East. He'll get across the 25 and up to the 27, maybe the 28, and he'll pick up a first down for the Firebirds. There you see the power. 3 Blue Jays on his back, and he's still churning those legs. Good pickup to the 27. Gain of 10 on the play, first down Carthage. Spotted on the near side hash mark. Trips to the left. Low in the gun. He'll take the snap. Looking to throw. Fires intercepted. A lot of room in front of Chris Reeves. This could be a pick 6. Carthage at least recovers quickly. Reeves cuts back. Heads to the end zone. Touchdown Elmhurst Blue Jays. The second interception of the game and the 9th of the season for Bryce Lowe. And he pays the price as Chris Reeves takes it back and gives Elmhurst the lead back 9-6. Love to spin that positively somehow, but he threw it right at him. Davila on to try his first point after of the day. He's 7 of the 7 on the season thus far. Hold is down. Kick is up and good. 10-6 your score. Elmhurst takes the lead back from Carthage on the interception return for a touchdown by Chris Reeves. There you see it, Reeves, 39-yard return. It looked like Lowe was trying to find Gavin Betts. Instead, he put it right into the hands of Chris Reeves, and all Reeves had to do was dodge a couple black jerseys to get into the end zone. We do have an injury here after the point after. Looks like one of the Elmhurst Blue Jays is down. We have 12-11 remaining in the second quarter, and the Blue Jays have retaken the lead 10-6. Let's take pause here on the broadcast. This is Firebirds football. Mustafa Dan Muddam, the injured Elmhurst player, big boy on the offensive line for the Blue Jays. Plays left tackle, comes in at 6'5", 350 pounds. Did make it back to the sideline under his own power after the point after was good. For Elmhurst kicker Marco Davila and the Blue Jays retake the lead 10-6 with 12:11 remaining in the second quarter. Davila will kick off into the win this time for the Blue Jays. Isaac Saunders and Landon Ross back to return for the Firebirds. I'm going to correct myself here. Back to return for the Firebirds is Argent Ishmaeli, and Ishmaeli will take the football, gets across the 20 and the 25. He'll be taken to the ground by Jalen White before he can get to the 30-yard line. Carthage gets the football back, and for whatever reason for Bryce Lowe, finding teammates just continues to be a struggle. 2 interceptions on the day today after coming in with 7 on the season. And on the last pick, Lowe, following up the previous drive where he threw his first touchdown of the year to the Firebirds, threw a touchdown to the Blue Jays. That's why it's 10-6 right now, but Lowe and the Carthage offense has the opportunity to get those points back here. They'll try and do so with this drive starting at the 28-yard line. Handoff on first down. Bryce Frank gets through the first wave of tacklers, takes it up to the 40-yard line. He's got a first down and a little more. Give him 12, maybe 13 on the play, as Frank is proving to be a weapon early on in this contest. Call it a 13-yard Frank and a first down for the Firebirds. They come to the line of scrimmage quickly again. Under center is Lowe. Identifying linebackers, he'll take the snap. Another handoff to Frank. This time, though, not as much room. Malachi Correa among those in on the tackle for the Blue Jays. Andre Hunt also there. Few yards on the play, but not much more. 3 yards and a cloud of rubber pellets, as we say in the 21st century, on field turf. 2nd and 7 for the Firebirds. Spotted in the middle of the field at the 44. Lowe has receivers split in both directions. He's got Frank deep behind him in the feature back position, 2 tight ends for the Firebirds. Lowe takes the snap, handoff, Frank working the left side, gets through a hole, plows through a tackler. There is a flag down on the far side of the field, as well as one in the offensive backfield, and this looks dangerously like it could be holding. We'll get the call. Firebirds are walking backwards. You see it so much in the game, especially on a good play.
Holding, offense, 65. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replayed the down.
Had a bad feeling, and indeed, Jordan Petty, left tackle for the Firebirds. He's the one who gets called for the offense, and you can see it right there. He got his hands under the shoulder pads, and once those shoulder pads go up with the hands underneath, it's pretty obvious there's some holding going on. 2nd and 17 now for the Firebirds after the penalty. Put it back to the 34-yard line. Low from the gun, rolling to his right, evading rushing Blue Jays, fires it to the near side, well over the head of Argent Ishmaeli, incomplete. 3rd and long for the Firebirds upcoming after that incompletion, and you gotta think at this point, Lowe might be in his head a little bit with this many interceptions that he's thrown. That last one going for a touchdown, he's got to know. You know, on a pass like that, he puts the ball too high for Ishmaeli, but given the results thus far this season, he might be thinking in that moment, hey, I just want to put this ball someplace where only my guy even has a shot at it. And we're going to get a timeout called here. I believe this timeout is going to be called by Carthage. We'll check and make sure that it is the Firebirds who have a timeout tick off on the scoreboard. 10:32 remaining in the second quarter. It'll be 3rd and long for the Firebirds, who find themselves down to the Elmhurst Blue Jays by the score of 10-6. This is Firebirds football. Did not see a timeout come off the board for Carthage. Did not even see a indication that it was Carthage that took the timeout. Might have been an equipment issue or a officiating issue of some sort. So no timeout for the Firebirds. Bit of a reprieve there for Carthage. Over the middle, pass complete. However, the Firebirds needed much more than just a short completion to Argent Ishmaeli. Lowe does find Ishmaeli and gets the ball up to the 40-yard line. That's a pickup of 6, but on 4th and 11, let's see what the Firebirds choose to do here. Now, keep in mind, Lowe has punted once this year. However, the Firebirds think better of it, as even though the offense stayed on the field for a little while, they then decide to send Eric Ankovich out there. He has punted 21 times on the year for the Firebirds, averaging a little over 38 yards per kick with a long of 54. He has placed 3 punts inside the 20. 2 men back for the Blue Jays, Chase Mendoza and Preston Simmerd. Little rugby-style kick for Ankovich. It'll bounce at the 23-yard line and take a Firebirds roll inside the 20, down to the 14. Gavin Betts will be the one to touch it down at that 14-yard line. Good kick for Ankovich. Call it a 42-yard punt, but the Blue Jays do get the ball back as they will try and expand on their 10-6 lead with 9:35 remaining in the second quarter. This is Firebirds football. Gorgeous day here in Kenosha. Once again, thanks for joining us. Next best seats in the house if you are not here at Art Keller Field. Next to your screen watching this game on the Carthage YouTube channel. 1st and 10 for Elmhurst. Spot the ball at their own 14-yard line. On 1st down, not much there for Caleb Garner, who they're using in kind of a multi-purpose role, backup quarterback for the Blue Jays. There with the carry, picks up a couple yards, but not much more, and it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Blue Jays from the 16. Elmhurst will go with 4 receivers, up 10-6, just under 9 minutes remaining in this second quarter. John Odom, on the day thus far, 4 of 8 throwing the football. That will be a lateral. It goes to Tavion Porter. Flags are down as Porter makes his way down the sideline. Let's check on the penalty. Could be a number of things there on that pass that did not appear to be a forward pass, at least from my perspective. Shades of the Music City Miracle. Only really a question for statistical purposes, but still notable. Still some conversation among the referees as to the nature of the penalty. Our head referee looking over at Mike Murray on the Elmhurst sideline. Of course, the officials do have communications devices so that they can talk with each other.
Offsides on the defense, number 94, lined up in the neutral zone. Penalty, 2nd down.
You can also hear how breezy it is outside today. Coming into this contest, Carthage had committed 26 penalties through their first 3 games. It had cost them 222 yards. To give you an idea, opponents had committed 17 for 187. That penalty is of the 5-yard variety, and it will be accepted by Elmhurst, which will make it 2nd and 2 for the Blue Jays, with the ball spotted at their 22. Odom from the gun. Tavion Porter to his left. Odom takes the snap. Correction, that is not Porter, that is Darius Lane. Lane close to a 1st down as he cuts back to the left side. John Pettit among those trying to make sure he doesn't get it. It looks like they're going to say he was down short. They'll spot it just across the 23-yard line. It'll be 3rd and inches for the Blue Jays. Don't be surprised here Jays go tight formation again. Odom heads over to the sideline for a play call and comes back to the Blue Jays huddle. We saw the Blue Jays use something like the brotherly shove, the tush push, earlier in the contest, and it looks like they're lining up in a similar formation here. Everybody comes up around Odom. Everyone gets behind Odom. Everyone pushes Odom. Odom becomes a human tackling dummy in this instance. Firebirds like what they got there. Jalik Barnes popped up and gave the 4th down signal. They thought they stopped him short, and indeed it is confirmed by the officials that Odom did not reach the line to gain. You know, when you get those tight circumstances, it's just body versus body and whoever can push the hardest. Indeed, they spot the ball down maybe a few inches forward where it was on the previous spot, but not much more than that. Looks like we're going to get a measurement here. Oh, nope, we need to bring over a new down marker as apparently the down marker was somehow damaged on one of the previous plays. See it kind of flopping as they bring it back over to the sideline. The dial-a-down, if you will. But the somewhat unsteady dial-a-down will say 4th down. And it looks like the Blue Jays are going to keep the offense on the field deep in their own territory. Now keep in mind, just like with Lowe, Odom has also taken a quarterback punt this year. It only went 13 yards, but it is an option. Nonetheless, he's at the line of scrimmage, and he gets the Firebirds' defensive interior to jump. Well, that's an easy way to get a first down.
Defense number 94, 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That's the number one thing you don't want to do as a defensive lineman in that situation. At least make him try and earn it. And unfortunately, Ethan Ivan, defensive tackle out of Wilmot, committed the mental error. It's a first down for the Blue Jays as they pick it up via the encroachment penalty. Drive will stay alive. Spotted just short of the 29-yard line. Odom's got 3 receivers on the right and 1 on the left. From the gun, man in motion from the far side is Jacob Cockrell. Will cut back in motion, but the Blue Jays will run the football. This is Porter through the middle. Firebirds not fooled that time. Porter does take it across the 30 and up to the 33, but he doesn't get much more than that before he is met by a number of black jerseys and red helmets. It'll be 2nd and 6 for Elmhurst after that 4-yard run for Porter. Prior to that carry, Porter with 4 carries on the day for 8 yards and a long of 4. So that equals his long in the contest. 2nd and 6 for the Blue Jays, spotted at the 33. Odom again from the gun, this time with receivers in both directions in pairs. Odom takes the snap, calmly looks across the middle. Pass is tipped and incomplete. Looked like it went off the helmet of Michael Sneed. Bounced up into the air, and nothing good can come of that if you're the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Perhaps the best result there for the Blue Jays was the incompletion, which is what Odom got. Take a look at it on the replay. Odom takes the snap, looks left, looks over the middle. Yep, straight off the dome of Sneed. College student athlete using his head. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Blue Jays. Once again from the 33. Again, a pair of receivers in both directions. Actually call it trips on the right. Empty backfield for Odom. In the gun at his own 28-yard line. He'll look across the middle. Pass is complete. A lot of room for Jacob Cockrell. He gets past the Firebirds defense. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Elmhurst Blue Jays. A 67-yard touchdown pass and catch from John Odom to Jacob Cockrell. And the Blue Jays take a 16-6 lead. It was a simple crossing route for the Blue Jays. But once Cockrell got past the Firebirds defense, he could have run that football to Chicago. It's a 10-point lead for the Blue Jays. It could be 11 points after the Davila extra point. Hold is good, kick up through the uprights, and good. 17-6. The Elmhurst Blue Jays lead the Carthage Firebirds with 5:06 remaining in the second quarter. The Firebirds did not have anyone within 5 yards of Jacob Cockrell when he caught that pass. And after he caught it, he took off down the field like a track star. Cockrell last year caught 38 passes for 550 yards and 6 touchdowns. Letter winner in football and baseball. Put that guy on the base paths and tell him to steal a base or two. Blazing speed as he just runs past the Firebirds into the end zone. 17-6. The Blue Jays up on the Firebirds with 5:06 remaining in the second quarter. We will take a brief pause. This is Firebirds football.
Set to kick off for Elmhurst. Saunders and Ishmaeli deep for Carthage.
Carthage Firebirds did have a 6-3 lead in this contest, but since they got the lead, it has been all Blue Jays ever since. Blue Jays now up by 11, 17-6. With 5:06 remaining in the second quarter after the 67-yard pitch and catch from John Odom to Jacob Cockrell. Kickoff through the back of the end zone is Marco Davila, psyched up along with the rest of his Elmhurst Blue Jays, sending that one through the end zone into the wind, no less. And you can tell the Blue Jays have the momentum, the enthusiasm, and the adrenaline right now after the long touchdown pass. If you're the Firebirds, you got to show some poise here. Surely Matt Pepino and Jeff Duvendeck giving some encouraging words to their offense as they head back out onto the field and take it for 1st and 10 from the 25. Bryce Lowe, 1 touchdown pass, but also 2 interceptions on the day thus far, including one that was returned for a touchdown from 39 yards out by Chris Reeves. On 1st down, handoff, Bryce Frank, right side. Among those taking him down, Jesus Moreno, 280-pound freshman. Blue Jays do love their big lineman. He's out of Dunlin, Florida. Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9 upcoming for Carthage. They'll come back to the line of scrimmage quickly. 2 receivers split out wide to the left. 2 tight ends on the right side of the formation. Lowe takes a snap, play action fake, rolling left, fires complete. Ishmaeli towards the far sideline, not much there for him. Good tackle by Reeves, who had that interception return for the touchdown earlier. Just a pickup of 3 for Ishmaeli. Call it 4 as they spot him down at the 30. 3rd and 5 upcoming for the Firebirds. Mentioned some of the early numbers for Lowe. He is now 5 of 9 on the day. The completion percentage has been pretty good. It's just some of the mistakes that have been costly. Trying to manage the game. Before the snap, we're going to get a timeout taken by Carthage on this key 3rd and 5. You don't want to go 3 and out here. You got all 3 timeouts remaining with 3:48 remaining in the second quarter. Good opportunity for Pepino and Duvendeck to bring their groups to the sideline and talk things over. Carthage down 11 late in the second. This is Carthage football.
With seconds left in the first half in Rock Island, Fort Park 7, Augustana 7. And with 7 minutes left down in Bloomington, Washington University 20, Illinois Wesleyan 2.
We'll talk at the half about some of the other goings-on in the CCIW today. Big game between North Central and Wheaton. North Central currently leading Wheaton 21-14, 6:48 remaining in the second quarter. Here we have 3:48 remaining in the second quarter. Carthage down to the Elmhurst Blue Jays, 17-6. Pass over the middle, that's Ishmaeli again, breaking tackles. He's going to get the first down with the run after catch. He'll get taken down at the 40. Initial contact was at the 32. He needed to get to the 35. He does break that first tackle, though, and it was necessary for the Firebirds to hold on to the football. First and 10 for the Firebirds. After the 10-yard pitch and catch from Lowe to Ishmaeli. On first down, Frank through the middle.
Frank on the carry.
He'll pick up one and not much more. Firebirds have 7 first downs to Elmhurst's 4 on the day. Also outgaining Elmhurst 133 yards to 115. Getting more yards per play, 5.32 compared to Elmhurst's 5.23. Relatively similar numbers, don't get me wrong, but yards are not the problem right now, it's points. Play action fake, pass complete, but you see the ball hawking ways of Chris Reeves as he is quick to the football for the Blue Jays. And while he does allow Peter Orlandino to make the grab, he does not allow Orlandino to make his way down the field. No gain on the play for the Firebirds. And it'll be 3rd and 9 for Bryce Lowe and the Firebird offense. With time ticking down here in the second quarter, Lowe gets his team to the line of scrimmage quickly. 3rd and 9, 2 receivers split out wide to the left of the ball, spotted on the near side hash mark, in motion to the near side, then back to the far side, Colin Durian. However, the Firebirds do not get the play off before the 2-minute warning occurs. 17-6. Elmhurst with the lead on Carthage. We'll keep it here as we talk about some of these numbers again. And again, it's the turnovers that have been the issue for Carthage. On the day, again, the Firebirds, 7 of 11 throwing the football. It's those 2 interceptions among the 4 incompletions for Lowe that have cost them dearly. Points off turnovers. Kill you every time. 3rd down conversions. Elmhurst just 2 of 7. Carthage 2 of 4. Elmhurst did convert on their 1 4th down attempt. Carthage 0 of 1 in that regard, but just turnovers. See it all the time. It's not limited to football. The team that turns the ball over more in a basketball game typically is the one that struggles the most. But it's particularly a killer with the oblong ball. 3rd and 9 for the Firebirds out of the 2-minute warning. Lowe from the gun, empty backfield. Takes the low snap, looks to the near side. Pass is complete, but it was wide enough that Bryce Frank had to dive for the football and went to the ground to get it. Frank does grab the ball, but he grabs it at the 47. The Firebirds needed to get to midfield for the first down. It's a pickup of 6. 4th and 3 upcoming for Carthage. They're going to let the time roll here. They do have 2 timeouts remaining. But they'll come to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and 3, down by 11. End of the first half. Why not roll the dice? Lowe tries to get the Blue Jays to jump. Now we get a timeout taken by Carthage as the Firebirds tried to get the first down the easy way, much the way the Blue Jays did on 4th down at the other end of the field. However, Elmhurst, Mike Murray's group, disciplined. They held steady. Credit to their defensive coordinator, Drew Richardson, along with their defensive line coach, Jim Phelps, says the Blue Jays did not jump. And now we'll see what the Firebirds decide to do after taking their second time out of this first half with 1:13 remaining in the second quarter. You saw the little there on the part of the Blue Jays line. They thought about it. Wise move, though, to stay where they needed to at home. Mike Murray in his second year as the head coach of the Elmhurst Blue Jays, 3-10, his career number. Again, the Blue Jays 1-2 on the season thus far, as you see the replay of the third down pass to Bryce Frank. He came into this game with 7 catches for the Firebirds. Good for 23 yards. Again, has done a lot of work running the football. Firebirds come out in punt formation on 4th and 3. Ankovich had a good punt earlier. It's going to be a fake. This snap goes directly to Mike Boyson, but Boyson goes almost nowhere. The Blue Jays were ready. They take Boyson down, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays in Firebirds territory as Boyson loses a yard on the direct snap fake punt. You saw the replay. Great work by the Elmhurst line as they identified that fake right away and snuffed it out before it could get started. Matt Pepino's group trying to be aggressive on special teams here today, going for 2 after the lone Firebirds touchdown thus far. Did not get it. There they go for the fake punt on 4th and 3. Don't get it there as well. Odom on 1st down for the Blue Jays. Flag goes down, pass over to the far side. It is complete to Max McCarville, but this is definitely in the area of holding. It came from the umpire. That is the initial indication. More than likely, this one's coming back.
Holding, offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Javen Young, the right guard for the Blue Jays, is the one who committed the hold there. Take a look on the replay. Through the middle. Yep. Pulled on the back of the jersey of Jordan Hughes. And that will get called 8 days a week. 10-yard penalty. That pushes the Blue Jays back into their own territory. 1st and 20 now for the Blue Jays from their own 44. Odom from the pistol has a back behind him, and Tevion Porter. Porter takes the handoff, gets across the 45 up to midfield, twisted around and taken down by Cristobal Gutierrez coming over from the line. But a decent pickup there for Porter.
Gain of 8 on the play, brought down by Gutierrez Jr.
As he takes it up to the 48-yard line of the Firebirds. Call it an 8-yard pickup. 34 seconds remaining in the quarter. Blue Jays a little bit of urgency, but not moving too quickly. On 2nd down, Odom rolls out to his left, fires deep down the field. He's got a man. Bobbled, incomplete. Cockrell looking for his 2nd touchdown grab of the day. He was wide open down the middle of the field, but Odom put it just a little bit beyond his reach. Flag is down as well. Waiting to hear if we'll get an indication from the referee. It looks like this is another hold, though, against the Blue Jays. Indeed, they do push the ball all the way back to the 41-yard line. So it will be 2nd and 26 for the Blue Jays with just 22 seconds remaining in this second quarter. Handoff, Porter, left side. Correction, that is Darius Lane. Similar looking backs. One is 5'10", 210. The other is 6 foot, 200 pounds. Lane does take it across the 50-yard line, but Elmhurst in no hurry, it appears, to get another playoff. They do have all 3 timeouts. 2-1-0. We are at halftime here at Art Keller Field, and the Elmhurst Blue Jays have a 17-6 lead, trying to get their first victory in the last 9 tries against the Carthage Firebirds. Carthage came into this contest scoreless on the season through 3 games. They do get on the scoreboard. They even get their first lead of the season, 6-3. However, the next 14 points were scored by the Elmhurst Blue Jays, including on an interception return for a touchdown by Chris Reeves of 39 yards and a 67-yard touchdown pass from John Odom to Jacob Cockrell. And that is why the Blue Jays have this 17-6 lead as we head into recess on homecoming and family weekend here on the campus of Carthage College. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will have some halftime statistics for you. We'll talk about what else is going on in the CCIW today, including that big showdown between North Central and Wheaton in Wheaton, Illinois. We'll talk about what to expect in the second half. Carthage finds themselves down 11 at the break, 17-6. This is Firebirds football.
Ray is the president of the Carthage Field Association, president of the Literary of Art magazine, a member of Student Government, and member of Wave Radio. Ray also serves as a videographer and editor for the Office of Marketing and Communications. Olivia Rogers is a public relations major and sports management minor from Salmonot, Illinois. Olivia has served as a public address announcer for Pfeifer soccer, lacrosse, wrestling, swim and dive, water polo, and softball. A member of the concert band and fall pep band, and serves as a resident assistant. Mark Solenberger. Mark is a chemistry major from St. Charles, Illinois. Mark is a member of the Carthage men's soccer team. Belle Rubble is a history and public relations major with a German minor from Butler, Wisconsin. Belle is the president of Zeta Tau, Sigma Sorority, secretary of Public Relations Student Society of America, a member of Phi Alpha Zeta Theta, History Honor Society, and a junior member of Carthage Conspiracy. Belle is a student worker for the Urban Teacher Preparation Program and a second-year resident assistant. Justin Wheeler. Justin is a business major and mathematics minor from right here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Justin is the president of Delta Upsilon fraternity, lead of the NASA Space Science Research Team, and president of the Rock Climbing Club. Melissa Schmidt.
Welcome back here at halftime on the Carthage College Athletics YouTube channel. You see some halftime scores from around CCIW Conference. Talked about that North Central Wheaton game, an outstanding game today. However, North Central, unsurprisingly, the number 1 ranked team in all the land. Doubling up Wheaton right now at Wheaton, 28-14. While it is 26-8, Wash U with the lead on Illinois Wesleyan. North Park finds itself down to Augustana in a battle of Vikings, 10-7. 6:58 remaining in the first, as you see the lead there for Carroll over Milliken. Some halftime stats for you. We talked about the fact that if you take the turnovers out, you would think that Carthage would be leading this game. More rushing yards, fewer passing yards. A lot of that has to do with the 67-yard touchdown pass that Elmhurst got. More first downs. The penalties have hurt at times, but they haven't been extremely costly, and better on third down, 2 of 5, than Elmhurst, 2 of 7. You also get that blocked punt for Carthage, and that set them up for their lone touchdown of the contest, the touchdown pass by Bryce Lowe to Harry Wilson Jr. of 5 yards. However, even though the Firebirds are leading in total yards, 139 to 132, those 3 turnovers, you cannot remove those from the picture. 2 interceptions, including 1 return for a touchdown by the Blue Jays. Also a fumble right on 4th down when the Firebirds were threatening to go in. And hey, you can toss the rest of the other numbers out. The one that matters is the one that's on the scoreboard, 17-6. The Blue Jays of Elmhurst have the lead right now on the Carthage Firebirds. There's the first of the 2 interceptions by Bryce Lowe. Field goal try for Elmhurst. Up and good from 27 yards out for Tevion Porter. Here was the run from the 5, and you see the football just squirt out of the hands of Bryce Frank. The block punt. That set the Firebirds up for this, a 5-yard touchdown pass from Lowe to Wilson. The first points of the season for the Firebirds. They would fail to get the 2-point conversion. However, that would give the Firebirds the lead, 6-3 with 1:36 remaining in the first quarter. Here was the look at that 2-point conversion. Rolling out to his right, firing to the end zone, looking for Gavin Betts. Betts couldn't reel it in, though. Unfortunately, though, the Firebirds would give the lead back right here as Lowe looks to the left side. But he finds a guy wearing the wrong color shirt. It's Chris Reeves who takes the football, heads towards the far sideline, dodges a couple Firebirds offensive players, makes a good cut right there, gets across the 5 and across the goal line to give the Blue Jays the lead right back. That made it 10-6. And then the 67-yard touchdown pass from Odom to Cockrell. You can see most of that work was done by Cockrell as he fielded that ball on the Blue Jays side of the 40-yard line, their own 40. Took it 61 yards on the ground, again, a total of 67 yards on the stat sheet. And that's why this game is 17-6 in favor of the Blue Jays right now. Lowe, 8 of 12 passing. Again, it's those 4, and seeing 2 of them go to the wrong team that have cost them. Bryce Frank, 12 carries, 62 yards on the ground. Gavin Betts does have a catch for 24 yards. On defense, John Pettit already with 5 tackles in the contest thus far. Take it over to the other side, though, for North Central. John Odom, not terribly impressive through the air, 5 of 10 with 1 touchdown pass already in the contest. We'll run through some of those other numbers for Elmhurst as well. Carrying the football, Tevion Porter, 5 carries for 21 yards and a long of 8. Jacob Cockrell mentioned he had that 67-yard touchdown catch, 69 yards after catch on the day total on his 2 catches. He's been targeted 6 times, has only reeled in 2 of them, but that long of 67, he's got a total of 76 yards. And as mentioned, Nick Mullett for Elmhurst has had a punt blocked thus far, leading tackler Ryan Burton for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. There you go, as you see the numbers back up on screen again. Also Chris Reeves with 4 tackles in the contest, but he also does have both of the interceptions for Elmhurst in this game thus far. if you're the Carthage Firebirds, the big thing is you just got to cut down on the turnovers. You can't turn the ball over 3 times, again, in the second half like you did in the first half, and expect to have success. Hold on to the football, and you've been moving it pretty well, but you're also playing from behind, which means you are going to have to rely on Bryce Lowe and his arm every once in a while. Lowe just has to keep on looking for receivers who are open and finding them in short patterns. He doesn't have to win the game by himself, and he certainly doesn't have to do it on any one of the first 2 drives of the second half. As the Firebirds try and come back out, it will be the Blue Jays getting the ball first in the second half, and of course, if you're the Blue Jays, you just want to avoid making mistakes here in the second half. You don't want to let the Firebirds back into this contest. Blue Jays, again, they've lost 8 straight to Carthage. The last time the Blue Jays defeated the Firebirds was in 2014. You throw in the COVID year as well. So, yeah, Elmhurst trying to win for the first time in a decade against the Firebirds, and they do have an 11-point lead on Carthage right now, 17-6. You saw some of the halftime ceremonies here on homecoming weekend, the crowning of the homecoming king and queen, as well as the Spirit squads out there as well. Big crowd here today, and they would like to see the Firebirds come back from down 11. We'll see if they can do it as we bring you the second half coming up in about 5 minutes. Once again, 17-6 is your score at the half as the Elmhurst Blue Jays do lead the Carthage Firebirds. This is Firebirds football. In the preseason poll here in 2024, Carthage was picked 8 of the 10 teams in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. Elmhurst was picked 9th. Elmhurst, accordingly, trying to go on the road today and prove something against his Carthage team after they got a victory against a team picked 7th in the preseason poll, North Park, last week, 28-21 at home. The Blue Jays in their second season under head coach Mike Murray, perhaps outperforming expectations already a little bit as they try to get their first victory in a decade against the Carthage Firebirds and put a little bit of a damper on homecoming weekend here at Carthage College. They are doing the job thus far, 17-6 your score as we get ready for the second half kickoff here at Art Keller Field. We have been talking about it throughout the game. There is a strong breeze that has been blowing. Hasn't impacted the kicking game as much as maybe we thought it would, as the wind is blowing from your left to your right on whatever screen or device you may be watching this game, and watching the Carthage band as they give us a nice rendition of 25 or 624 by the Chicago Transit Authority, or Chicago for short. You can see, can't quite see it in that shot. Not a lot of the folks sitting in the stands across the way from us here, but a very good crowd in the stands near us here on the east side of Art Keller Field. And when the football heads over towards the right side of your screen, the north side, you can see all of the tailgaters and the parties going on over there. We'll shift our attention, though, to the south side of the field, where it'll be the Firebirds kicking off to start the second half. Blue Jays won the coin toss, chose to defer to the second half. They will take the football here first to start the third quarter. Then they will have the wind at their backs, will the Blue Jays, for the fourth quarter of this contest. Jack Anderson will be the one to do the kicking for the Firebirds unless they have another trick up their sleeves. The Firebirds tried to get a 2-point conversion out of the swinging gate point after formation, and this is the second time that they've gone with the let's have 7 guys run up to the football and see if the Blue Jays panic formation before they go to a more conventional kickoff. Anderson swings the right leg, sends it into the end zone. It's a touchback. Blue Jays will get the football at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10, and that's how we get the second half of this homecoming contest underway. Mentioned that John Odom did have the 67-yard touchdown pass in the first half, but other than that one pass, he was 4 of 9 throwing the football. And if you do a little math, just a total of 94 yards. Take that 67-yard touchdown pass out of the picture, and he only had 27 yards on his other 4 completions. Firebirds doing a pretty good job of holding down Tevion Porter as well, only picking up 21 yards on 5 carries in that first half. Darius Lane had 13 yards on 6 carries. This time to start the third quarter is going to be Odom on the keeper. A little surprised we didn't see more of that in the first half. Odom, good on his feet. He had 19 carries for 43 yards coming into this one. And keep in mind, quarterbacks have sacks in their rushing statistics at the college level. So that 9-yard pickup for Odom, anytime you see a quarterback with positive rushing yardage at this level, you know he's pretty good on his feet. And that time, he starts the second half off well for the Blue Jays, as he does make it 2nd and 1 from the 34-yard line, as we get set for the second play from scrimmage in this third quarter. From the pistol, Odom takes a snap, hands it off to Porter. Porter to the right side. He will get the first down. Good tackle for the Firebirds. Ramon Campos comes over. Sophomore out of Marshall, Wisconsin. One of a number of connections between Carthage and Marshall. Bryce Frank, running back for the Firebirds, out of Marshall as well. While he does get over and make the stop, it's not before a pickup of 2, and the Blue Jays start the second half with a first down on their first series of downs. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays now from their own 36. Odom. He'll fake the handoff and take off with it himself right up the middle. He'll get close to the 40-yard line. We'll see if they give it to him with the spot. Pickup of 4. maybe 3 if they spot him down at the 39, and they will say his knee was down at about the 39-yard line. Nose of the football just across the 39. The PA announcer says that it was a 3-yard gain. I do a lot of PA announcing myself, so I will listen to the PA announcer. We'll call it 2nd and 7 for the Blue Jays from the 39. Dan Pfeifer, good to be on board for my first Carthage Firebirds football game on the play-by-play mic. Had the opportunity to do a lacrosse game in the spring. Good to be here for the oblong ball, as we like to say. Snap almost gets away from Odom. He rolls out to his left, has to stop, and he just fires a pass over the top, incomplete. Seth Desmore was in the area, and Odom did break away from the pocket, so no intentional grounding flag there, but given the panic of the snap that went to Odom's left, good work on his part to field it, and then as soon as he saw that play was not working out to his liking, he just decided to salvage the situation, live to fight another day, and prepare for 3rd and 7. Coming over to the near side of the field, Jacob Cockrell. You saw the long touchdown pass or touchdown catch that he had in the first half from a similar distance. That one was of 67 yards. Right now, the Blue Jays 61 yards away as they come back to the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 7. But before this 3rd and 7 play, we'll have a timeout
Of the half.
taken by the Blue Jays as they want to try and keep this opening drive of the second half going. 12:40 remaining in the third quarter. The Blue Jays with the ball to start the second half, trying to expand upon their 11-point lead. This is Firebirds football. The sounds of Benny Benazzi's Satisfaction pumped through the sound system here at Art Keller Field, and the Firebird fans in attendance on homecoming weekend want to get the satisfaction of a 3rd down stop. 3rd and 7 upcoming for the Elmhurst Blue Jays, who do have an 11-point lead, 17-6. 12:40 remaining in the third quarter. Empty backfield for John Odom. Crowd gets into it on 3rd down. Odom will take the snap with 3 receivers on his left and 2 to the right. Pass over the middle, bobbled incomplete. More good defense on the part of the Firebirds. For a second there, I thought I saw number 0. I believe that was number 8, Cohen Abreu, who got that pass break up. He did have an interception on the season thus far, coming into this one. That time on the crossing route, the Firebirds were ready. We'll see a punt coming up here for Elmhurst. Mullet did have the punt blocked earlier in the game. Fair catch called for and made by Landon Ross at about the 30-yard line. The Firebirds hold on the Blue Jays' first possession of the second half, and now the Carthage Firebirds will try and cut in to Elmhurst's 11-point lead. Quick replay of the 3rd down play. Pass over the middle, incomplete. And indeed, we can confirm that that was good pass defense for Cohen Abreu, the junior out of Miliani, Hawaii. Went to Eleanor Roosevelt High School out there, 6 foot, 180-pound junior. Now Bryce Lowe leads the Carthage Firebirds offense back out onto the field. Lowe with a touchdown pass, but also 2 interceptions, including a pick 6 in the first half. Now with 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions on the season. Handoff on 1st down, straight through the middle. Running room for Bryce Frank, and he gets it across the 40-yard line. That'll be a 1st down on the first play from scrimmage for the Firebirds to start this second half. A nice 10-yard pickup for Lowe, or correction, for Frank. And really, between the tackles, the Firebirds have been getting the job done today. The Firebirds' offensive line averaging 6'3", 278 pounds, going up against a 6'2", 235-pound unit for the Elmhurst Blue Jays, at least on average. At times today, they have pushed the Blue Jays around. Play action fake, rolling out to his right, Low over the top of Gavin Betts, incompletes. Pressure applied by Charles Scott, 6 foot, 195-pound senior linebacker for the Blue Jays out of San Diego. Low perhaps released that football a little bit earlier than he was hoping to. And again, in these situations, you would rather Lowe throw an incompletion than put the ball in a dangerous spot. 2nd and 10 for the Firebirds after the first down incomplete pass. Handoff, Frank again through the middle, skips through a couple Blue Jays tacklers, gets it across the 45 and is taken down at the 46. Jace Safiro pops off the pile. Top tackler for the Blue Jays. He's the one that makes the stop out of the linebacker core for Elmhurst, but it is a 6-yard gain for the Firebirds. 3rd and 4 upcoming for Carthage. Lowe looks to the sideline for a play call, then heads back into the huddle. Firebirds on the day on 3rd down, 2 of 5. They'll try and improve on that number here. Lowe under center. He's got Frank behind him. Handoff to Frank on 3rd down. He is met, though, and he will not pick it up. He'll maybe get 1 yard, and that is it. Justin Harris, 6'3", 230-pound junior out of Maywood, Illinois. Quick to the football, just a 1-yard gain, and the Firebirds will send the punt unit out. Firebirds tried a fake punt in the first half in a similar situation, also a 4th and 3 or 4. Did not work out for them. Let's see if they do decide to kick it away here. Ankovich is the punter. He'll take the snap. Couple steps to his right, then he sends it away. Line drive kick that'll bounce inside the 20 at about the 16. Looked like it was touched by one of the up men at the 9-yard line. Indeed, the referee throws his beanbag as Kelvin Maginor was the Firebird that made contact with it at the 9. Back judge walks up. Field judge sends the ball over, and they will spot it down at the 9, and that will be where the Blue Jays will start this drive. Punt down to inside the 20 for Ankovich. 44-yard punt for Ankovich. However, the Blue Jays do get the football back as neither team can crack the scoreboard on their first drive of the second half. 10-12 remaining in the 3rd. Blue Jays with the football deep in their own territory, but with the 11-point lead, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, handoff, Porter loses yardage. Good push again by the Carthage defensive line against this very big Elmhurst offensive line unit. We talked about Mustafa Dan Muddam earlier at 6'5", 350 pounds. They will say that Porter got back to the line of scrimmage, but Cristobal Gutierrez Jr. has been all over the field today for the Firebirds defense. He makes the stop, no gain for the Blue Jays. They also have Javen Young, 6 foot, 345-pound freshman. That is a big boy right there. You see Mustafa Dan Muddam on the left side of the line. 2nd and 10 upcoming for the Blue Jays with their big offensive line. This time it's a handoff to the other running back, Darius Lane. Lane cuts back at the 10-yard line. He'll pick up a couple, maybe 3, but not much there. Jalik Barnes and Tommy King come over to make the tackle for the Firebirds. 3rd and long upcoming for the Blue Jays. They'll spot it down at the 11 for a gain of 2. We'll see if Elmhurst is content throughout this second half if they can hold on to this lead to keep the ball on the ground as much as they can. Again, Odom entered the contest with a 43% completion rate. We talk about Lowe in the interceptions, but he entered completing 58% of his passes. On 3rd down, Odom looking to throw the football, has to step up in the pocket, forced out, throws over the middle, incomplete. An ill-fated pass. Zach Henderson was there. Jalik Barnes might have gotten a hand on it. But Barnes had just as good of a chance of catching that one as Henderson did. We'll see it from the different angle. Henderson looked like he got his hands on it, but he was knocked out by Barnes. Jalik Barnes having a pretty good day on defense as well. From his own end zone, punt is away off the foot of Mullet. Fair catch called for and made at the 44-yard line by Landon Ross. Good field position for the Firebirds as they try to eat into this 2-score Elmhurst lead. 8:28 remaining in the third quarter. Elmhurst up on Carthage, 17-6. This is Firebirds football. Firebirds get back out onto the field quickly. They'll actually spot the ball at the 43. Only a 32-yard punt there for Nick Mullett. Carthage will try and take advantage. Low under center, I formation backfield behind him. Bryce Frank has been the bell cow back today. He'll take it, but he won't find much. Jesus Moreno, interior defensive lineman for the Elmhurst Blue Jays, 280 pounds. There to make the stop. Frank picks up a couple, but that's all. 2nd and 8 upcoming for Carthage. Frank, 16 carries for 81 yards on the day. Approaching that 100-yard mark. Came in with only 117 yards on the season. Man in motion from the near side to the far side. Colin Durian. Screen pass near side, taken in by Frank. He'll get across the 40, knocks into a couple Blue Jays defenders before he's taken down along the near sideline. He'll get up to the 36. That'll be a pickup of 5, but not much more. 3rd and 3 to come for Carthage. Good looking play for the Firebirds. Again, you like these short passes for Lowe. Give the man some confidence. Not only that, you start getting rolling with those, then you can draw in that Blue Jay defense and then look to throw the ball downfield. 3rd and 3 for the Firebirds from the Blue Jay 36. Lowe from the gun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Little pass over the top, incomplete. He was looking for Durian, but put too much air under it. Pressure applied quickly by the Blue Jays. 4th down. Let's see what Carthage decides to do here. Down 11, but with the ball in Blue Jay territory. Doesn't really make much sense to punt here with the ball at the 36-yard line. Not much to gain from it, particularly if you put the ball into the end zone, especially with this strong wind blowing from left to right. Might as well keep the offense out there. Aggressive Matt LaFleur-like decision-making for Matt Pepino. And we'll talk about Matt LaFleur's connection to Elmhurst, too, in just a moment. As Lowe and the Carthage offense will go for it on 4th down. Lowe takes the snap, looking to throw, steps up in the pocket, now thinks better of it, rolls out to his left, fires over to the left side, that's complete. Bryce Frank, 1st down, Carthage Firebirds, they get the 4th down conversion, and Frank takes it inside the 20 to the 19. It does look, however, like Frank was a little shaken up on the play along the Elmhurst sideline. You see on the replay here, Lowe wanted to take off to his right. Didn't see anything there. Instead, he found Frank on the left. Frank will come back over to the near side. Goes into a jog as he comes back. They'll say he went out at the 20. But a big play for the Firebirds as they get what they need and more. And now they're on the edge of the red zone with a 1st and 10 after the 4th down conversion. Yeah, connection between Matt LaFleur and the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Among the alums for Elmhurst, Los Angeles Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur, who is the younger brother of Matt LaFleur, head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Mike LaFleur started his coaching career as an assistant at Elmhurst in 2009 after playing at Elmhurst. Fumble on the 1st down play for the Firebirds, but it is recovered. As with Frank on the sideline, some confusion with Kelvin Maginor coming in motion to the near side. The snap goes off his hand and his helmet, and Maginor lucky to recover that football. Just a loss of 1 on the Firebirds, but they could have even lost the horsehide on that play. 2nd and 11 after the Firebirds are lucky just to not commit yet another turnover here. Low under center. Big formation in front of him. Handoff. That is Mark Hunter out there for Frank right now. Hunter takes it back across the 20. He'll get up to the 19. They won't give him much more than that, though. Just 2-yard pickup on the play. 3rd and 9 for the Firebirds from the Elmhurst 19. Hard to say how much confidence Matt Pepino will have in Jack Anderson trying a field goal from this distance. Anderson had not even had the opportunity to try a field goal yet on the season. Firebirds went for 2 when they scored a touchdown in the first half. 3rd and 9 here. They'd like not to have to think about it. Pass over to the near side, incomplete. Mark Hunter was there. It rattled off his shoulder pads into the ground. He had to try to go to the ground to pick it up. Could not get his arms around it. 4th down. And it looks like we are going to see the kicking unit here. So coming on, that is not Anderson. That is Eric Ankovich. Listed as the Firebirds punter. It was Anderson who was listed on the depth chart as the kicker. It will come out of the hold of Garrett Townsend, and it will be a 36-yard try. Ankovich with the wind at his back. Snap a little low, down, kick on the way towards the uprights, and no good. Wide to the left. Plenty of laid for Ankovich, but he couldn't get it inside the far post, to use the soccer terminology. The Firebirds come up empty, and with 4:55 remaining in the third quarter, it's still the Blue Jays 17 and the Firebirds 6. Here's that 3rd down pass by Lowe. Would have been a tough play, but Hunter got his hands on the football, couldn't reel it in. Wouldn't have had 1st down yards anyhow. Then here's the field goal try. Low snap. Got it down. Had the distance. Just wide to the left. Blue Jays get the ball at the 20-yard line after the missed field goal goes beyond the end line. Odom, handoff. Lots of room for Tavion Porter. Porter gets at least 9. Almost gets a 1st down on the first play from scrimmage on this drive for the Blue Jays. They'll come up a half a yard short, but that's one of the better runs today for the Blue Jays as Porter makes it 2nd and inches.
2nd and a yard.
Some missed opportunities today for Carthage, although the way the first 3 games of the season went, you're just happy to get some opportunities, but now you're going to want to start capitalizing on. Lessons to be learned in the first year for some of these guys under Matt Pepino. On 2nd and short, once again it's Porter, right side. He's got the 1st down. He'll get close to the 35-yard line as he heads over to the far sideline. Pickup of at least 5, maybe 6. Fresh set of downs for the Blue Jays. They will spot him down just short of the 35. We will call it a 6-yard pickup. And by all means, it is a 1st down for the Blue Jays and Mike Murray's squad. Don't be surprised if we start seeing a lot of Porter here the remainder of this contest. 9 carries now for 32 yards in the game. Odom from the gun. 3 receivers to the left on 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. Once again, it's Porter. This time he's stacked up at the line. Ramon Campos, quick to the point of contact. Just 1 yard gained by Porter. 2nd and 9 to come for the Blue Jays. New personnel out there for Carthage. Certainly too early for the Blue Jays to think about just consistently running clock, but keep the ball on the ground, get some grinding drives, and maybe the Blue Jays can think about getting their 2nd win of the season. On 2nd down, it's Porter yet again. This time he comes to the near side, having to avoid a horse collar tackle is Cristobal Gutierrez Jr. As a result, Porter able to get close to the 40, although they are saying his knee went down at the 38-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 2 on the play for Porter, who is now getting a lot of work here for the Blue Jays on this drive. However, he will come off the field for this upcoming 3rd and 7 play. No scoring yet in this third quarter. Elmhurst holding on to that 11-point lead after they were down 6-3 following Carthage's first touchdown of the season. Darius Lane out there in a running back position, and before this third down play, we will get Elmhurst taking their second timeout of the game, or the second half, we should say. They will be left with only one timeout remaining as they talk this over before this key 3rd and 7. Timeout comes with 1:59 remaining in the third. We will take pause as well. Homecoming weekend here on the Carthage College campus, and this is Firebirds football. Third and 7 upcoming for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Elmhurst on the day thus far, just 2 of 9 on third down. John Odom, the quarterback, takes the snap, fires a quick pass over to the near side, incomplete, intended for Jacob Cockrell. Tanner Ludwig maybe didn't even see the football coming his direction. It rattled off his left shoulder pad. He looks up a split second sooner. He might have a pick. However, Carthage likely to get the football back here as Elmhurst will send on the punting unit and Nick Mullett, who did have a punt blocked earlier in the game. Odom saw something he liked quickly, maybe too quickly for everyone else on the field. Mullett does get the ball away. Fair catch called for and made at the 28-yard line by Landon Ross. Firebirds get it back, down 11. 1:50 remaining in the third quarter. Neither team's been able to find much traction here in the third. Carthage has 41 yards on 11 plays in the third quarter. Elmhurst, 34 yards on 13 plays. Carthage is averaging a little over 3.7 yards per play. Elmhurst just 2.6 yards per play. That's not going to get it done for either team. Though with the score being what it is, Elmhurst perfectly okay with this third quarter being played to a draw thus far. Chance for Carthage to change that on this drive, though, as Bryce Lowe once again leads the offense out. This will be a handoff. Mark Hunter to the near side. Still have not seen Bryce Frank after he went down following the completion on the far side of the field on the last drive. Hunter gets across the 30, but doesn't get much more than that. They'll spot him down at the 31, and it will be 2nd and 7 for the Firebirds. Spotted on the near side of the field. One receiver to the far side, that is Gavin Betts. On the near side, it's Jackson Westmoreland. Low under center on 2nd down. Handoff again. And this time, Mark Hunter nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. That is a tackle for a loss by Malachi Correa, who has been active along the defensive line for the Blue Jays today. 2-yard loss on the play. 3rd and 9 upcoming for the Firebirds. Bryce Lowe going to have to go to the air here. Carthage has been more reliable on the ground than they have been throwing the football in this contest. We have talked about Lowe's 2 interceptions, including the one that got taken back for the touchdown, but you can't get too predictable here either. Lowe takes the snap, pump fake, fires deep over the middle, over the top of everyone, incomplete. Big hit laid on Argent Ishmaeli as he was up in the air. Understandably, a few of the Firebirds fans in front of us thinking maybe that was a defenseless receiver situation, with Ishmaeli getting spun around and knocked to the ground. No flag thrown, though, and the Firebirds will have to send out the punt unit. Hardest throw of the day for Lowe, as you see on the replay there. The big hit applied to Ishmaeli. He's okay. Rugby-style punt off the foot of Ankevich, who missed the field goal on the last drive. Fair catch called for and made by Preston Simmerd. Blue Jays will get the football back. It has been a back-and-forth third quarter in the sense that neither team has been able to move the football all that much. And the punts have been what has been going back and forth. Blue Jays get it back at their own 27-yard line. Both teams have 2 first downs in this third quarter. However, the Firebirds 0 of 4 on third down. The Blue Jays 0 of 3. If you're Carthage, you hope something's got to give. Maybe in the form of a turnover on this drive. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. Odom, handoff. Tevion Porter cuts back towards the far side. Tries to dodge tacklers, can't do it. Outstanding open field tackle by Britton Stanton. 5'10", 200-pound sophomore out of Gilbert, Arizona. He went to Williams Field High School. Williams Field, open field. He can handle them both. That's the end of the third quarter. The score at the end of the third, the same as it was at the end of the second quarter. Elmhurst 17, Carthage 6. We'll head to the final quarter of play here on homecoming weekend at Carthage College after this. This is Carthage football. Even with the breeze, a stunningly gorgeous day along the shores of Lake Michigan here in Kenosha. Happy to have you on board if you're not outside doing something fun on this beautiful day. If you're in southeastern Wisconsin or northern Illinois, once you get done with this broadcast, go out and do something fun today because it is beautiful out today. Start of the fourth quarter. 2nd down for the Blue Jays. Rolling out to his left and holding on to it will be Odom. He'll head towards the far sideline. He'll be ushered out of bounds by Austin Alexander. But not before he gets a pretty good gain up close to the 35. Looks like they'll say he went out at the 35-yard line. That'll be 2 yards short of a first down. But it'll be still a pickup of 9. And it will set up 3rd and short for the Blue Jays as they start thinking about grinding some clock with this 11-point lead, 17-6 at the start of the fourth. 3rd down for the Blue Jays from their own 35-yard line. A shift to the left for the Firebird defensive line. Handoff. This is Darius Lane, and he's going to get the first down as he pushes his way forward close to the 40. Lane, smaller weight-wise than Porter by 10 pounds, but a couple inches taller. Lane carrying Firebirds with him as he gets close to the 40-yard line, pickup of 4. And the Blue Jays keep this going with their first 3rd down conversion of this second half. 1st and 10 for Elmhurst. Now with the ball at their own 39. It was Elmhurst College for many years. On July 1st, 2020, they changed their name to Elmhurst University. Odom, college, university, doesn't matter to him. He wants to throw it deep. But it's incomplete, intended for Jacob Cockrell, who had the 67-yard touchdown catch earlier in this contest to make it 17-6. Couple Firebirds in the area, but with the overthrown pass, nothing Cockrell or the Firebirds could do. Unsurprising decision there for the Blue Jays. You got to at least try and go deep once or twice to keep the Firebirds honest. Don't want them stacking the box with too many guys in this situation where you are thinking about running the ball a little bit more just to keep possession. Again, take that touchdown pass away for Odom today, and not terribly impressive numbers for him, but he's getting the job done. 2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays. Once again, this is Lane. He'll get the ball across the 40. Give him the 41, maybe the 42. Jalik Barnes coming up to make the tackle for the Firebirds. Call it a 3-yard gain. Spot it at that 42-yard line and call it 3rd and 7 for Elmhurst. Elmhurst in their first of 2 straight road games. They are at Augustana next week. Knowlton Outdoor Athletic Complex in Rock Island, Illinois, the Quad Cities. Odom back up to the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 7. Man in motion from the near side to the far side. Odom rolls to his left, then thinks better of it. Rolls to his left after rolling to his right. He'll reach out, stretch, try and get the first down on the ground. It'll all be a matter of where they spot it on the far sideline. Odom didn't see anything he liked when he went to the right side. They'll say he stepped out of bounds well short of the line to gain. They only give him the 47-yard line. If I'm Mike Murray, I'm not happy with that spot. That makes it 4th and 2. We'll see if we can get an eyeball on where Murray stepped out of bounds. Official was right there. Looked like he was in bounds all the way to the stick. Nonetheless, Elmhurst will keep the offense out there on 4th and 2 from their own 47. They need to get to the 49. It was Jack Leons who came out there. He's the backup quarterback. But we get a delay of game call against Elmhurst, which is not the worst thing in the world for the Blue Jays here, with the wind at their back. And it looked like Leons was going to consider making a quarterback punt. Again, we had mentioned that John Odom had taken one of those already this season. Not a good punt, 13 yards. So put the backup quarterback out there and let him kind of run the pass punt option, if you will. However, he does not get the play off in time, so now we'll see a more standard punt formation for the Blue Jays. Again, Nick Mullet did have that punt blocked in the first half. High snap, Mullet able to get hold. Rush comes from the Firebirds. They can't get a hand on it. Fair catch called for and made at the 24-yard line. Landon Ross hasn't had much of an opportunity to do much in terms of returning punts, as Mullet, when he's gotten the punts off today, has gotten plenty of air underneath them. Firebirds get it back, though. They need 2 scores. They're down 11 right now. 17-6 is your score with 11:50 remaining in the 4th quarter. This is Firebirds football. Bryce Lowe, 10 of 18 on the day. 1 touchdown pass, 2 interceptions, including a costly pick 6. But he is the one tasked with trying to help the Firebirds come back in this game. Pass in the air, almost intercepted again. Jace Zafiro. Gonna look at his hands like I look at my golf clubs sometimes. What did I do wrong? Yet again, Lowe seemingly trying to see through defenders to find targets. And Lowe at risk of throwing his 10th interception of the season and 3rd of the game right there. Fortunately for the Firebirds, Zafiro couldn't get his mitts around it. Falls to the ground incomplete. On 2nd down, the less risky option is a handoff to Bryce Frank. And look at the room for Frank. He's going to take it to midfield, across the 40, to the 35, pushed out of bounds. No, he stays on his feet. He stays in bounds, into the end zone. Touchdown, Carthage Firebirds. A 76-yard touchdown run for Bryce Frank. He stays in bounds along the sideline and takes it in. And the Firebirds are back within a score. It's 17-12 with 11:32 remaining in the 4th quarter. Got to see the replay on that one. I thought Frank put a foot out of bounds. But they say he stayed in. And all the better for the Firebirds. As they find themselves down 5, they will go for 2. Low in the gun. Takes the snap. Drops back. Fires. Complete. Bryce Frank. Touchdown Carthage Firebirds. We didn't see Frank on the last Firebirds drive after he went down injured on the previous drive. Reeling in a 4th down catch along the far sideline. This time, though, Frank with the touchdown run and the 2-point conversion. And the Firebirds are back within a field goal with 11:32 remaining, 17-14. This is Firebirds football. Bryce Frank. A huge touchdown run. Now with 158 yards on the day on 18 carries. A 76-yard touchdown tote. And now the Firebirds are within 3, 17-14. The first rushing touchdown in Matt Pepino's career as head coach of the Carthage Firebirds. Anderson kicks it away. It'll be fielded at the 6. Brought back by Porter. Talented return man for the Blue Jays, in addition to being their primary running back. He'll be forced out of bounds near the 30-yard line. And all of a sudden, the momentum is on the Carthage sideline as they cut into the Blue Jays' lead with that long touchdown run. It's back to a 3-point football game. It was a 3-point game in favor of Carthage after their first touchdown. It was 6-3 in favor of the Firebirds. But this Firebirds team has not lost to the Blue Jays in a decade, and they want to continue the winning streak, boosted up to 9. Here comes Elmhurst and John Odom. He'll take his spot in the gun on 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays from their own 30. Handoff goes to Darius Lane. Lane with room on the left edge. He's got a first down and more. He'll get out close to the 45-yard line. Combination of Cohen Abreu and Cristobal Gutierrez in on the tackle, but a pickup of 15 for Lane. And it's a first down for the Blue Jays on their first play from scrimmage after allowing the score. Lane had 10 carries for 22 yards prior to that play, boosting his numbers up nicely. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays after the 15-yard pickup. Faking the handoff to Lane is Odom. He'll send it over to the near side. Cockrell had the long touchdown reception earlier. He will pick up another first down for the Blue Jays. Austin Alexander in the area, but it's another 10-yard gain for Elmhurst. And they're now into Firebirds territory. Carthage gets the momentum back momentarily with the long touchdown run by Bryce Frank. But the Blue Jays steal it right back with a couple nice plays as they get the football back and head right back down the field. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays from the Carthage 45. Odom from the gun, takes the snap, handoff, Lane, reverse, looking to throw. Jack Leons goes deep down the field. It's complete. Cockrell. Touchdown, Elmhurst Blue Jays on the razzle-dazzle double handoff option down the field. And the Blue Jays answer back to make it 23-14. A 45-yard touchdown pass. We're going to have to confirm exactly who all was involved in that, as it looked like it was Jack Leons coming back the other direction on the double reverse. Point after try by Davila. Snap gets away. Trying to fall on the ball is John Odom. He cannot. Remember, if Carthage picks this up and takes off, they could get two going the other direction. They do fall on the ball. However, it's down at that point. The conversion is no good. The score will remain 23-14. There was a flag that was thrown against the Blue Jays. Carthage declines the penalty. They will accept the fact that the Blue Jays get no points on the conversion. The score will remain 23-14. They have it in the stats as the touchdown pass being thrown by Caleb Garner. Hard to tell with these light blue numbers sometimes for the Blue Jays, whether it's Garner or Lians. The 6 and the 8 look very much alike. We'll go with Garner being the one who threw that touchdown pass. It's his first pass of the season. We'll roll it back and look at it here. You can see the handoff to Lane. And indeed, it was Garner who threw it down the field. 2 receivers and only 1 defender in the area. It was Cockrell who was left uncovered, and Cockrell who made the grab. He had the 67-yard touchdown reception earlier in the contest. He's got another one now of 45 yards, and that's why Elmhurst has a 23-14 lead. Kick away off the foot of Davila. It will be brought back by Argent Ishmaeli. Ishmaeli escapes a couple tacklers, but will be pulled down from behind at the 31-yard line. Big play-saving tackle by Evan Weber of the Blue Jays. But Carthage has to answer back after a scoreless third quarter. Both teams score touchdowns on their first drive of the fourth quarter. Here's the replay of the extra point, as it was a ground ball snap that got underneath John Odom. Odom fishing for the football, could not get to it. Carthage wisely in that point, trying to pick it up. Quem Redding was the one who tried to grab it. No sense in not trying. It's not like Elmhurst is going to be able to pick it up and take it in from there. On first down for the Firebirds, this will be a screen pass to Mark Hunter. Hunter escapes a couple tacklers. He gets up to the 50-yard line. He'll take it into Elmhurst territory and get a first down. Well, after a third quarter with relatively little offense, both teams starting to light it up here in the fourth. Hunter with the 21-yard reception into Blue Jay territory. And the Firebirds get a first down. 9:26 and counting, still plenty of time left for Carthage. Low, under center. 11 of 20 on the day for 103 yards. Take the snap on 1st and 10. This time it's Hunter on the ground. He'll get 2, maybe 3, not much more than that. Talon West. 6 foot, 200 pounds, senior defensive back out of Lake Mary, Florida. He's the one to take Hunter down. Call it a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8. Firebirds break the huddle and come to the line. Betts and Redding on the right side of the field. Those are your receivers there for the Firebirds. On the near side, it's Argent Ishmaeli. Low from the gun. He'll take the second down snap, roll out a little bit to his right, finds Hunter over the middle. He's got space. He'll take it across the 35. He'll be brought down at the 31. First down, Carthage Firebirds, but there is a flag on the far side of the field.
Scrimmage, ineligible player downfield, number 75 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
Matt Johnson is the one who escaped the line of scrimmage. We'll watch it back on the replay here. See if we can see. Definitely did see, not Matt Johnson, but Lucas Kuzmiers 3 yards down the field. Just one of those plays if you're an offensive lineman. If you know it's a pass play, you got to stay home. Costly penalty against the Firebirds. Makes it 2nd and 13 from their own 48. In motion is Hunter. Low, drops back, fires to the far side. Complete Quan Redding. He won't get much after the catch. Brought down at the 46-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. Third and 7 to come for the Firebirds. Spotted at the Elmhurst 46. Have to think with 7:28 and counting remaining in this game, this will be 4-down territory for Carthage. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Low, empty backfield in the gun. 3-man line for the Blue Jays. Low fires over the middle, completes. Bouncing off of tacklers, Bryce Frank. Frank to the 30-yard line, first down Carthage. Bryce Frank getting it done both on the ground and through the air. The top weapon today for the Firebirds. 4th catch of the day for Frank. He had 3 for 27 before that play. 16-yard pickup. 1st and 10 for the Firebirds from the Elmhurst 30. Still in range where you can get points, kick it away, and try and get a stop. Handoff, Frank cuts back, middle of the line. Stacked up at the 25. Can't get past the contact. Pounding his helmet in pride, Jeffrey Laylighter. 6'3", 108-pound sophomore defensive back out of Antioch, Illinois. Good gain on the play, though. Gives 6 yards to Bryce Frank on that run. 2nd and 4 for Carthage. Little over 6 minutes left. You do need points here, though. Carthage down 9. Low under center on 2nd and 4. This time the handoff goes to the other back, Hunter. Hunter can't find any room, might have lost a yard. In on the stop, Malachi Koreev, called his name a number of times today. 6'3", 230-pound presence on the Blue Jays line. Indeed, it is a loss of 1. 3rd and 5 for the Firebirds. A huge 3rd down play with about 5.5 minutes remaining. Empty backfield again for Lowe. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Lowe from the gun, looks to his right. Crossing pattern, complete. Spinning away from tacklers, Peter Orlandino. Orlandino gets the first down. Lowe very deliberate when he's looking to those crossing routes. Takes the snap, sets his feet, delivers a good ball. Orlandino fights his way through 3 and then 4 Blue Jay tacklers before he's pushed out of bounds. Gain of 8 on the play. 1st and 10 for the Firebirds inside the Blue Jay red zone. 4:43 and counting remaining. Lowe again with the empty backfield. Pass to the man in motion, bobbled, incomplete. Also a flag down. A second flag comes in late as well.
Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
And that does not help matters for the Firebirds. Lucas Kuzmiers is the one who gets flagged there. Again, we said it looked like it was him who went downfield on the illegal man downfield penalty earlier. Now he gets whistled for the hold. Always danger of that when you see a defensive lineman lying on the ground. As much as you like pancake blocks, oftentimes those guys end up on the ground as a result of something that was not allowed within the rule book. So on 1st and 20, it'll be a handoff to Hunter. He'll take it inside the 25, but he won't get much more than that. Gain of 2, maybe 3. We'll call it 2. They'll spot it right between the hash marks at the 25-yard line, but it'll still be 2nd and 18 for the Firebirds. Now keep in mind, if you get a field goal here, you still bring this within 6. But you got to think about the time as well now, too, with under 4 minutes remaining. Lowe from the gun on 2nd and 18. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, looking downfield. Tough play along the sideline. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Gavin Betts, the junior out of Troy, Michigan. But the official on the far side said Betts did not have possession before he went out of bounds. 3rd and long for the Firebirds. 3:48 remaining. Carthage does have all 3 timeouts. You'd like to save them, though, for a potential final game-winning drive. At some point, you need points. Low, again from the gun. Drops back, steps up in the pocket, incomplete. You can see Charles Scott, correction, that is Aitor Agbenya, complaining to the official as his helmet pops off there. Certainly thinking there may have been illegal hands to the face or something along those lines. Nonetheless, Low off target. And now we'll get a long field goal try for the Firebirds. Ankovic came on earlier and missed in his only attempt of the season thus far. Now this one will come from 42. Ankovic visualizes the ball going through, settles, and waits for the snap. Into the wind, snap is good, hold is good, kick on the way. No good, wide to the left. Probably didn't have the distance either. The ball got across the end line, but did not look like it had the height to even clear the crossbar if it had been on target. And with 3:39 remaining, it is looking like the Elmhurst Blue Jays, if they can get 1 or 2 first downs, might be able to walk away with their first win against the Carthage Firebirds in 10 years. Whenever you bring in a new staff, you retool, and sometimes it takes a little while for things to gel. Steps forward today for the Firebirds. Make no mistake. But some things they would have liked to have seen gone differently. Still time, though. Odom from the gun on 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays from their own 25. Unsurprisingly, a handoff. Rolling off the pile is Darius Lane. Pickup of 3. Carthage not taking the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll let the clock roll for now. 3:13, 3:12, 3:11. Tick, 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 tick. Have to watch the play clock now, too, on 2nd and 7. Have to think that Elmhurst wants to use as much time as they can. Odom from the gun. Lane off his left shoulder. 3, 2, 1 on the play clock. Snap comes off in time. However, we do get a flag. This will be a false start against the Blue Jays.
False start. Offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
I assume after the game, our referee will be doing some wind tunnel testing with maybe some new sports cars because, wow, you can hear that breeze down there. We said gusts up to and over 20 miles per hour today. That wind coming out of the south is what's helping keep it warm on a day like this. If that wind was blowing out of the north today, we would all be huddled up with jackets, holding hot coffee in our hands. Instead, comfy 70-degree conditions in Kenosha. That wind will be at the back of the Blue Jays. If they end up having to punt this one away, it will be 2nd and 12 for the Blue Jays after the penalty. Spotted at the 23-yard line. Odom, again from the gun. Again, he hands it off. Straight through the middle, not much there for Darius Lane. He gets 1 of those 5 penalty yards back, but that is all. And now Carthage does take their first of their 3 second-half timeouts. That stops the clock with 2:27 remaining in the 4th quarter. Firebirds will need a stop. Then they're going to have to get a quick score, probably an onside kick, and try and pull off a miracle. It's a lot to ask. But that is the situation the Firebirds are in right now. Again, in a lot of ways, the Firebirds dominating the statistics. 13 first downs compared to 10 for the Blue Jays. Total yards on the day, 316 for the Firebirds compared to 260 for the Blue Jays. However, it has been the turnovers that have been costly for the Firebirds, as well as a few errors on special teams. Firebirds were able to take advantage of really the lone special teams error for the Blue Jays. Did block a punt earlier in this contest. That was largely what led to the first Firebirds touchdown, but definitely some things you'd want to go back and have go differently if you're on the near side sideline. 3rd and 11 for the Blue Jays from their own 24. Play action fake for Odom. Now he'll step up. He'll head to the sideline, and that's helpful to the Firebirds if he goes out of bounds. Some of the Blue Jays coaches a box over thinking that Odom got hit out of bounds, wanting to see a flag thrown. They won't get what they're wishing for. But with Odom going out of bounds, that stops the clock with 2:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. As soon as Odom took off with the football, I was going to call it a wise decision, because if you throw an incompletion, you stop the clock, and that helps the Firebirds out. However, by going out of bounds, Odom essentially gives the Firebirds a free timeout. Although the Firebirds take a timeout here. Correction. Is Elmhurst with a timeout. Now, interestingly, right now they have the Firebirds with 1 timeout and Elmhurst with 1 timeout on the scoreboard. We'll go with that. It'll be 4th and 3 for the Blue Jays with the ball on the 32. Presumably, the Blue Jays will want to kick it away. The Firebirds will have 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning. But yeah, so many things in this game if you just take the turnovers out, going the Firebirds' way. But turnovers prove costly. 2 interceptions for Elmhurst. Also, the Firebirds lose a key fumble as they're threatening to go in. And the Blue Jays have taken advantage. Nick Mullet, again, he did have a punt blocked earlier in the contest. Firebirds would love to make it 2. They've got 10 guys up along the line. They will send the pressure, low snap. Mullet gets the punt away. It's a low line drive. This will be returnable for Ross. From the 35, he cuts back at the 40, heads towards the sideline. He'll go out of bounds just short of the 45. Decent field position for the Firebirds, and he goes out of bounds with 2:11 remaining on the clock. So again, the Firebirds, 1 timeout remaining, and they will get the 2-minute warning. Low on the day for Carthage, 14 of 25 throwing the football for 133 yards.
Return for 11 yards. Firebirds take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Given that you are this close to the 2-minute warning, though, don't be surprised if the Firebirds go play action or choose to even go with the draw play. On the day, Bryce Frank, 19 carries for 164 yards, including that 76-yard touchdown pass. Pass over the middle through the hands of the defender and complete. Reeled in by Gavin Betts. He will get a first down for the Firebirds, and he'll get taken down at the 38-yard line. That will bring us to the 2-minute warning.
This is the 2-minute warning. 2-minute timeout.
Low, dangerous pass given what we've seen at times today. Ryan Burton, 6 foot, 180 pounds, sophomore linebacker for the Blue Jays. Just couldn't bring his Palatine, Illinois hands up in time to get that one. Instead, the pass is complete. Also, we do have an injured Blue Jay down. So in addition to the 2-minute warning, we take pause for that. $14-yard gain on the previous play. It's Gavin Betts. He's able to make that grab. The injured player hopping off for the Blue Jays is Burton. Second catch of the day for Betts. 38 yards for him receiving the football. Frank, in addition to the 164 yards on the ground, also the top receiver for the Firebirds. 4 catches for 43 yards. First and 10 for the Firebirds. Not much time to waste. They need 2 scores. They've got it at the Elmhurst 39. Low from the gun. Takes the snap, looks left, fires, complete. Double coverage there, but Lowe is able to navigate his way through it. Betts makes the grab. Doesn't get much, though. Taken down at the 37-yard line. They might give him the 34. Yes, they will. As they say, he did not go backwards of his own regard. He was ushered back there. Call it a pickup of 5. Lowe, no huddle. Takes the snap again. Looking downfield, under pressure, rolls out, fires over the middle, pass complete. Once again, it's Betts. Goes down at the 24-yard line, pickup of 10. First down for the Firebirds, but we have a flag.
10 yards from the previous spot, second down.
Holding again against Carthage. Ugh. Difficult time to take a penalty. That pushes the ball back to the 44-yard line, and now it's 2nd 15. Just some key mistakes today for the Firebirds. Lowe takes the snap, fires left side, off the hands of Mike Boyson, incomplete. Third and 15 for the Firebirds, and it's going to take some pretty miraculous things to happen in the final 82 seconds of football for the Firebirds to pull this one out. They're already starting to bounce and dance a little bit on the Elmhurst sideline. Big third down here for Carthage. On the day, the Firebirds 4 of 12 on third down. Also, just in a preview, they are 1 of 3 on fourth down. Lowe takes the snap. Has time, now steps up in the pocket. He'll take off with the football at the 40. Cuts back along the sideline. He'll go out of bounds at the 35. Shoved out of bounds, and the flag does come down. Mental mistake going the other way.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds on the defense, number 11. To 15 yards added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
Jeffrey Laylighter should have laid off. Instead, takes 3 steps and throws a shoulder at Bryce Lowe after he already went out of bounds. And that gives the Firebirds 15 more yards. First and 10 for the Firebirds at the Blue Jay 21. 1:16 remaining in the contest. Lowe, empty backfield, 3 receivers on the right side, including Bryce Frank, 2 receivers on the left. Gavin Betts is on the left in the slot. He's been a favorite target on this drive. Firing over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Betts again. Will Zollers, dime back in for the Blue Jays. 5'10", 170-pound freshman out of Sugar Grove, Illinois. Another opportunity for the Blue Jays where they don't take advantage. 2nd and 10 for the Firebirds. Lowe steps up in the pocket. He'll take off again. Starts to slide. Gets hit as he's going down. However, the officials say that Charles Scott could not stop his momentum with the hesitant Bryce Lowe slide attempt. Firebirds come right back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 6. Pick up a 4 on the previous play. Lowe looking to his right, receiver stumbles, incomplete. Also the wind picked up in that moment too. Lowe kind of threw the Devin Williams airbender. I know we don't want to remind too many Brewer fans of Devin Williams after what happened earlier this week, but that pass kind of tailed off to the right on him, in addition to the receiver stumbling. 4th down, and even though the Firebirds would have liked to have gotten 6 here, ultimately getting 3 still puts you in a position where if you get the onside kick, you have to come down and try and score a touchdown to tie up the game, and then hope you get the point after to get the victory. 47 seconds on the clock. The big thing is, though, Eric Ankovich has to hit this kick. Spot is down, kick is on the way, and it's good. 34-yard field goal for Ankovich, and it's through the uprights and good. First field goal of the season for the Carthage Firebirds, and it comes at an opportune time. Puts them back within a score, 23-17, 43 seconds remaining in the game. Does Carthage have a miracle in them on homecoming and family weekend? It has been an entertaining contest and one in which you just don't know what to expect here. And oh, by the way, Matt Pepino on the Carthage sideline jumping up and down, trying to get Dylan Salisbury in for the huddle to discuss this onside kick. Well, it basically all comes down to this for Carthage, again, with only one timeout. If they don't recover this onside kick, Elmhurst can just kneel this one out. Now at the college level, you sometimes have guys who are onside kick specialists. And indeed, this does not appear to be Ankovich out there. This is Jack Anderson. But before the onside kick attempt, Elmhurst sees how Carthage comes out and says, all right, if that's what they want to try, let's talk it over. They will take their final time out of the game. Not that they necessarily need it. You see the field goal one more time. Up and good. Into the wind, no less. Not necessarily an easy task on this breezy day here in Kenosha. Have to assume that the plan basically stays in place for the Firebirds. There are some creative ways you can try and get the football here. You don't necessarily have to hit a traditional to one side or the other onside kick. Could go the New Orleans Saints route and try and just send one up the middle. We saw one in college football a few weeks ago where they just hit a line drive right off of one of the up men and were able to recover. You can even try and hit one to an area of the field where there aren't many guys, a little bit further downfield, like at the 25 or the 30, and make it a foot race to the ball, try and catch Elmhurst by surprise. Let's see what Anderson decides to do. They do go the traditional route, near side. Easy play for Jeffrey Laylighter. And the Blue Jays look like they're going to beat the Carthage Firebirds for the first time in a decade. Laylighter runs all the way to the far sideline and takes a seat right in front of the bench with the football. He is a happy camper, and we are going to see some happy Blue Jays in about 43 seconds, plus a little additional time if Carthage chooses to take its final timeout. But it's basically all elementary from here. Sean Odom, victory formation from the 44-yard line. Takes the snap, takes a knee. See if we get a timeout indication. Does not look like it. Clock is rolling. They will have to snap the ball one more time. Slight differential between the play clock and the game clock. Nope. They're just going to let it roll. For the first time since 2014, the Elmhurst Blue Jays have found a way to beat the Carthage Firebirds. 23-17, your final score on homecoming weekend here at Carthage. The Elmhurst Blue Jays outperforming expectations the last couple weeks. They are now winners in 2 straight games. They're 2-1 in CCIW play. The Carthage Firebirds do get their first points of the season this week. They also have their first lead briefly when this game was 6-3. But they can't quite find enough to top Elmhurst. And the Blue Jays are victorious for the first time in the last 9 meetings. We're going to take a quick break. We will come back. We will have some final statistics for you. We're also hoping to have a quick conversation with head coach Matt Pepino. Again, the Firebirds learning more and more each week, but unable to turn what they've learned into a victory today on homecoming here at Art Keller Field. The Blue Jays are victorious over the Firebirds today, 23-17. Stats, coach, and we'll wrap things up after this. This is Firebirds football. It's a final on homecoming weekend here at Carthage College. The Elmhurst Blue Jays come in for the first time in a decade and defeat Carthage 23-17. The last time Elmhurst was able to get a victory against Carthage, it came in double overtime on October 11th, 2014, 49-42. That was the last of 4 straight Elmhurst wins in the series. This snaps an 8-game win streak for Carthage in the series. Final stats, you see them on the screen right now. 195 rushing yards, 152 passing yards for Carthage. Both of those numbers greater than what you see on the other side for Elmhurst. 15 first downs compared to 10 for the Blue Jays. However, some key penalties against Carthage. They were hit 7 times, cost them 50 yards. Third down conversions, relatively equal. 4 for 14 for Carthage, 3 for 13 for Elmhurst. Again, ultimately it was the turnovers, and you see it on this graphic. 3 turnovers for Carthage, 1 key fumble lost, and 2 interceptions thrown by Bryce Lowe, including one that was returned for a touchdown. Even though the Firebirds outgained the Blue Jays 347-266 and won the time of possession battle, ultimately the Blue Jays come away as victors in this contest. Some of the individual numbers, Bryce Lowe on the day, 16 for 30 for 152 yards. We talked about the 2 interceptions. He did have a touchdown pass in this contest of 5 yards. Bryce Frank, the big 76-yard touchdown run, 19 carries, 164 yards. That was more yardage than he had through 3 games this season. Gavin Betts, 3 catches for 43 yards. John Pettit, 8 tackles in the contest, 3 of them by himself. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough, as the Elmhurst Blue Jays got a 6 of 16 performance. Certainly not terribly pretty, but effective for John Odom, 104 yards. He did have a touchdown pass. Darius Lane, 12 catches or 12 runs, we should say, for 41 yards. Jacob Cockrell, wow, he was good at the receiver position today. 4 catches, 131 yards, and 2 scores, including that long 67-yard touchdown catch, also a 45-yard touchdown catch on the razzle-dazzle double reverse option pass downfield. Malachi Correa, 9 tackles on the defensive line for the Elmhurst Blue Jays in this contest. Tough loss for the Carthage Firebirds as they fall to 0-4 on the season. As mentioned, though, Elmhurst, they've now won 2 in a row after beating North Park last week by a score, 28-21. This week, they get the 23-17 win over Carthage. Next week, Carthage will have to travel to St. Louis, Francis Olympic Field, to take on the Bears of Washington University in St. Louis. Meanwhile, Elmhurst stays on the road as well. They will go to Augustana, Rock Island, Illinois, and the Quad Cities to take on the Vikings. But if you're the Carthage Firebirds, what you do after a game like this is you try and build off of what you did today when you go down to Wash U. After that, you do have a tough game against Wheaton back here at Art Keller Field on the 19th. But you go on the road against a Bears team that's, when you look at the preseason poll, Wash U was picked to finish 3rd behind North Central and Wheaton, who are doing battle today. So try and rise up, do some things better on the road. Longest road trip that you'll have this season, going down to St. Louis. And there you see some of the scores. Overtime today between the North Park Vikings and the Augustana Vikings. That one's still going on, tied at 24. But North Central, when you're the number 1 team in the country, you can be going up against a ranked team like Wheaton. You can still beat up on them pretty bad. 55-27 your final score in that one. Wash U does get a win today over Illinois Wesleyan, 33-23. Last update, halftime, it looks like they're between Carroll and Milliken, but it looks like Carroll's going to take care of the Big Blue pretty easily today. Pioneers up in that one, 35-7. But, yeah, tough loss today for the Firebirds. But, again, you're trying to build something right now, and that's what it breaks down to when you've got a new staff. And, again, Bryce Lowe working things out with this new offense that you've seen both Pepino and Jeff Duvendek install here at Carthage. You know, it's been a struggle early on. Now up to 9 interceptions on the season, but he did have a touchdown pass today, and he did some things right today. So it's a matter of getting the reads down for Lowe, and you see sometimes he's a little hesitant right now. It looks like it's in his head. So it's just something where you got to get his confidence back, and you're seeing it get better. It was a good thing today for Carthage to get on the board, even get a lead in this contest against Elmhurst. They were up early on 6-3 after giving up the field goal to Elmhurst for the first points of the contest, but Carthage does play from ahead for at least a little while in this game. You get that feeling, that experience of what's that's like, and you try and build off of that going into the coming weeks. But yeah, tough loss still, though, in front of a big crowd on homecoming weekend, family weekend as well. A lot of folks trying to make their way out right now. Certainly a bit of a challenge with the parking here when it comes to Carthage when you've got this many people on campus, but good to see the big crowd out today and an entertaining football game, even though it didn't go the Firebirds' way. Again, waiting to see if we get Matt Pepino up here to talk about this one, the first-year head coach for the Firebirds. Again, the Firebirds do fall to 0-4 on the season with the loss. And, hey, all credit to Elmhurst, too. Mike Murray, who only won 2 games in his first season. Now the Blue Jays have already won 2 games in this, his second year at the helm for Elmhurst. And, again, wins in consecutive weeks for them. They're doing a lot of things right now. And, you know, again, it wasn't necessarily the offense today for Elmhurst, but some big defensive plays for the Blue Jays. And, again, credit to Jacob Cockrell. He came into this contest with 8 catches for 174 yards. Almost doubled his season output with what we saw today. Again, the 2 long touchdown catches for him. And then also, you know, the defense as well. Credit to Chris Reeves. Number 1 was Cockrell. Number 2 was Reeves. Both on your scorecard and in terms of the impact on the game for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. Reeves with that 39-yard interception return for a touchdown. And, you know, you can pick any one of those 3 scores, and that's the difference in this contest for Elmhurst. They also get the field goal as well. And 23-17 is your final score as the Blue Jays get the victory. What we're going to do is we're going to take another quick break. We're going to wait to see if we can get a member of the Carthage coaching staff up here. When we do, we will bring them on the air. We will talk about what we saw today as well as what to expect next week when the Firebirds go down to the Gateway City to take on Wash U. But today, it was Elmhurst getting the victory, 23-17. Back in a moment with our coach interview. This is Firebirds football. All right, 23-17, your final score. The Elmhurst Blue Jays get the victory over the Carthage Firebirds. Here with head coach Matt Pepino. And, you know, Matt, you do get your first points of the season today. You get your first lead of the season today. And so there are some things to build off of. Let's start by talking about the positive. Bryce Frank, big day for you, especially with the 76-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, he ran hard, and I think we did a great job up front. You know, the big run, we were able to make blocks in the secondary, and then Bryce kind of did what he did, and it's just a great overall team effort and a great job by Bryce. Runs hard, runs physical, and great job up front, and a great job by the wide receivers to make the blocks to make that kind of bounce and explode for a big play.
Big line on both sides of the ball for Elmhurst, too, so to be able to push them around a little bit today, good work by the lines as well. For Bryce Lowe, you know, a couple more passes that I'm sure he'd like to have back, but he does get his first touchdown pass of the year. For him, what is it right now that you're working with him? I mean, yeah, some of the interception numbers, not where he wants them to be, but it did look like he was finding guys on the slant routes today.
Yeah, I mean, Bryce is a competitive kid, smart, loves football. He's tough. You know, he makes mistakes, but the difference is at his position, everybody kind of notices his mistakes, and you kind of wear that as a quarterback, where maybe some other positions you don't recognize as much as fans and stands. That's the pressure and kind of the job that you sign up for being the quarterback. But he's a competitive kid who cares a lot, and no one works harder than that kid. So, you know, I'm proud of him, and he battled, and he had a great second half, and, you know, we're just a player too short.
I know you're a no-excuses kind of guy, Matt, but 2 ranked opponents in your first 4 teams that you played today. Do you feel like you got some confidence back today, getting the lead early in the contest and getting some points on the board, being in it near the end of the game? I mean, yeah, you know, you face a tough team like North Central. It's tough to get out there and try and compete against a team that good, one of the best teams in the country. But do you feel like the team is making strides in the right direction? Do you like what you're seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was our best week of practice. I think we've improved every week. The focus is on us. Whoever we play, we want to compete, do things the right way, and avoid not beating ourselves. You know, that's kind of the biggest thing. You talk, you know, Bill Belichick always said there's more games are lost than won. So it's just teaching our guys those things. But we've had great energy, and it's always what can we do better, not who we play. And I think that's going to be the focus next week. I told the guys, like, I'm going right to work. We're going to go back to work, and we're going to get better. And there's a lot of things that we did really well today, and there's a lot of things we need to address and improve on. And I think the guys have the right mindset that we need to just keep getting better. They know that it's what we do. We focus on us. And, you know, there's some strides today and some positives that we could take. And the effort was there. We never gave up. We fought all the way to the end. There was a lot of good moments and teachable things that we coached. We were saw come to life out there. But now it's taking that next step. And I think the guys are balling to do that.
Hey, on the other side of the ball, too, you know, it's a blessing and a curse when you can look at the stat sheet and you can say, really, it was only 2 big plays that beat you, a 67-yard touchdown pass and a 45-yard touchdown pass on a double reverse. On the one hand, you don't want to give up those big plays. On the other hand, you can look at that and say, hey, for most of the day, we held them down.
Yeah, no, we felt like it was going to be hard for them to move the ball methodically down the field. We just had to kind of execute a play or two or a little bit disciplined. I mean, it's a great call by them on, you know, a double reverse pass. That's, you know, you throw a reverse pass, it's a great job by them. And, you know, they have great coaches over there. And, you know, but that's our number one emphasis every week is eliminate explosive plays, make people work down the field and earn it. And we feel like if you're going to do a 12-play drive, there's going to be a mistake there that we're going to take advantage of. So if we can eliminate those explosive plays, you know, and the guys recognize that, and we recognize that as coaches. So it's just continue to harp on those things and focus on those things. And that's the tough part. You make one mistake on defense, it could go for 60, but that's the discipline of it. And the guys are working hard at it, and we'll continue to get better at it.
Good perspective. Wouldn't expect anything less. Speaking of perspective, longest road trip of the year coming up, going down to Wash U next week. I know you haven't looked too far ahead, Coach, but what do you think your team needs to do this week to be in the best position to win next week in St. Louis?
Yeah, it's on us. We'll focus on us. Obviously, we'll watch the film on them and their tendencies and stuff, but the number one priority is how can we get better? What are we doing well out there that maybe we should focus on more? Where are there things that maybe we're not doing well that we need to eliminate, or how we can coach it better? And that's the priority, us, and just kind of keep focusing on those little wins that we're going to attack every day. Having a great Tuesday practice, having great meetings tomorrow, being prepared, like all those little things that we talk about. The games are won Tuesday through Thursday for us, so that's our focus. It's us, you know, no matter who we play, no matter where the road trip is. I've joked with the guys, put the ball down the lake. I want to compete. So we'll prepare for it, and we'll embrace another opportunity.
No, you wanted to get a win in front of this big homecoming crowd today, Coach, but the team is making strides, and good things are coming up around the corner, I can tell, Matt. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
There you go, Matt Pepino, the head coach of the Carthage Firebirds, after a 23-17 defeat at the hand of the Elmhurst Blue Jays here on homecoming weekend on the Carthage campus today. I want to thank everyone involved with the broadcast for making things happen today. Of course, Sam Boyle, Sports Information Director. Always appreciate working with him, as well as everyone else involved with the broadcast, including John Voinovich, who helped out with production. Of course, all of you out there in internet land who watched today, we appreciate you joining us as well. Again, next week, it will be Carthage taking on the Wash U Bears. Look for that broadcast through Wash U's athletic website. Meanwhile, Carthage will be back here at Art Keller Field coming up in 2 weeks when they take on the number 18 Wheaton Thunder, 1 p.m. start time on Saturday, October 19th, as Carthage takes on Wheaton in that contest. That'll do it for our broadcast. My name is Dan Pfeifer saying be a fan. Thanks again for joining us, and do tune in again in 2 weeks when Carthage takes on Wheaton if you can't make it out here yourself. However, today, homecoming weekend, could not produce a win for the nice crowd that was out here on this gorgeous day at Art Keller Field. Your final score, the Elmhurst Blue Jays 23, the Carthage Firebirds 17. Have a good